Good morning.
Morning.
I hate coffee. Lito loves coffee.
Love down.
So this is day 3 of trying to find the perfect coffee for a non-coffee drinker. Let's go.
Let's do that one.
So today we're gonna be trying Lamplighter coffee. Some people told us to try Lamplighter, so we are on our way to go try Lamplighter. Day 2 was really bad.
It wasn't that bad. The coffee was good, but she don't like the coffee taste.
Yeah, so today I'm aiming to try something that's like more sweet, less coffee. But yeah, we're gonna be trying Lamplighter, and I'm super excited to hopefully find something that's sweet and good. Not cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Yes. Got our coffee. Coffee. So we are back from Lamplighter. Today I got a 12-ounce iced Thai coffee. Yeah. I saw sweet condensed milk and I was like, work, you got me so cool, so it better be sweet.
And Big Papa picked it out for him. And I guess got me a basic ass matcha.
Matcha latte, right?
Yeah.
I am not a fan of matcha.
Here she goes.
No. Let me talk. Let me speak. Let me say my piece. Matcha tastes like grass to me. I'm sorry. And it's not because it's green. No, it genuinely just tastes like grass. So we're going to try these and rate them 1 through 5. This actually isn't that bad.
No.
It tastes like coffee, but it's like not that bad. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is fab. This is actually really good. I could do this again.
Hey.
Girl. This tastes like celery and spinach. I just don't get the hype behind matcha. But like this don't taste like nothing. Like it tastes like grass, but it don't taste like nothing at the same time. I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe it's just your taste buds are different. And that's okay.
She trying to throw shade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taste buds different. Oh, yeah.
What was that? So, Lamplighter. We're going to be rating this iced Thai coffee. I would rate this. She did a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the same. And my matcha's a 5 out of 5. She just got different taste buds, yo.
Miss Matcha for me. I would rate this, genuinely, I'm not even going to be harsh. I'd rate this a 3 out of 5.
Work.
Yay. Okay, well, that's day 3. Cheers to day 3.
Yerp.
Cheers to Lamplighter.
Yerp.
You ate that sister. Anyways, we'll see you guys in day 4.
Bye.
real reason the people in power don't want you reading about communism?
Probably because they don't want us to learn about communism.
Actually, it's because they don't want you to learn
the truth about capitalism!
They're always like, the problem with socialism is...
The real reason that they don't want you to read Marx is to hide capitalism's flaws, not communism.
Marx argued that exploitation is inherent to the capitalist system due to the fundamental relationship between the owning class and us, the working class.
We have to sell our labor to survive, but we don't receive the full value of the goods that we produce.
The difference between the value generated by our labor and the wages we're paid is called surplus value, which is appropriated by the capitalists as profit.
This foundational inequality in Marx's view is the core of exploitation.
Walter Rodney argued in works like Decolonial Marxism and How Europe Underdeveloped Africa that race and colonialism were integral to the evolution of capitalism and global imperialism, not just secondary effects.
Rodney explained that modern capitalism emerged directly from colonial expansion, slave trade, and resource plunder, and that racism is an integral part to capitalism.
In The Wretched of the Earth, Frantz Fanon argues that the colonial world is fundamentally divided into two distinct zones, that of the colonizer and of the colonized. He posits that what divides the world is not merely class in the traditional Marxist sense, but first and foremost, race.
He encapsulates this idea with the phrase, "You are rich because you are white. You are white because you are rich," highlighting that racism is an inseparable feature of capitalism, not a flaw.
A deep understanding of these critiques helps uncover how capitalism justifies itself through ideology, making its power structure seem inevitable or fair when they're not.
That's why politicians on both sides want to condemn socialism and communism, because it undermines faith in capitalism and motivates us to
challenge existing power structure!
If you can advocate for Palestine, you can also advocate for Cambodia. If you have any humanity left in you, I implore you, please, to save this video, share it with your friends, your family, anyone you can share it to. You can repost this video, comment, like, anything, interact. Please engage with this video so that the international media could see what's happening in our country right now. This is not about politics anymore. This is about humanity. This is about protecting sovereignty. This is about Cambodia, preserving culture, heritage, and the things left that we own. I've gotten many questions on why I'm making so many videos and why you guys are seeing so many of these videos and comments and information. I know it's tiring, but we've been here before. As I'm talking to you, making this video right now, my people are dying. Cambodia is a country with a long history of culture, heritage, and traditions. We are a country who want nothing but to preserve our tradition, what we have, our peace, and our prosperity. And we want nothing but to preserve our temples, our tradition, and our culture, and to make sure our people live in peace so they can prosper through development. And there's no reason for us to provoke Thailand first. You can check as many resources as you can, and they can compare the GDP, the development processes, the resources. Why would we provoke a country bigger than us? There is no reason for us to do that. Yesterday, I've made a video talking about what's going on in between Thailand and Cambodia, and I've sourced all of these information out from international media like CNN, The Guardian. These medias are sourced internationally, which means that they are unbiased. Let's think with our head and feel with our heart. Just 2 days ago, Thailand has launched so many airstrikes onto Cambodians' civilians' homes. So as you know, these civilians will have to leave their home to a place where they are unfamiliar with. They do not have clothes, they do not have shelters. Some of them will have to live underground. Some of them will have to take shelters under caves that are man-made, just so that they could avoid the bombs, they could avoid the airstrikes that Thailand has launched onto us. Infants who were barely 1 month old, children, toddlers, old people. These people are someone's children, someone's parents, someone's guardian. And yet they're living such a different life from us. While we're watching this video, while we're making this video, while we're living comfortably, eating comfortably, they're out there seeking shelter from somewhere they're not familiar with. somewhere that could be so dangerous. Not to mention the temples, the ancient heritage that our ancestors left us thousands of years ago. These temples are built under our name as a tribute to the gods we believed in, to the gods we prayed for. Cambodia is a country with a long line of wars. We've been through it all. Civil wars, internal affairs, and other international wars. But we've been there. So that is why we are trying our best to make sure that we can maintain peace in our country, to make sure there is no firing, to make sure there is a ceasefire. And even though the Previhe Temple belongs to us, as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Thai troops have bombed the entire area. The Previhe Temple is now left in crumbles. Not to mention Takrobay Temple, not to mention Tamon's Temple, and so many other temples and areas. So many infrastructure that we built, so many infrastructures that were built by my ancestors, by our ancestors, are being destroyed as we're talking right now. And not to mention the war crimes that the Thai soldiers have committed onto our Cambodian civilians and our Cambodian soldiers. There are audios, clips, videos out there that show these war crimes because they filmed it themselves. They posted it themselves. If you have any humanity left in you, please stand with us. Please listen to our side and stop listening to those propagandas that does not make sense.
Young hoes cook everything on high. On December 11th, 2025, Twitter user @bean_1 dropped the tweet of the year by saying young hoes cook everything on high. What was once a joke tweet has transformed into a cultural conversation about how black Gen Zs engage with adulting, even if it didn't start out that way. Young hoes do big loads of laundry and use half the detergent. Young hoes DoorDash dinner. And young hoes wash their dishes one at a time instead of making nasty dishwater. However, I think in this era of American late-stage capitalism, we're being too hard on the young hoe by critiquing the individual and not the conditions that create the subject. The young hoe needs to stop being over-critiqued as an individual because the conditions that create the subject are why everything's on high. When we observe the original tweet, we can see that people thought it was funny because it was being viewed as feminine, uncommitted, and just plain softness on their part. The joke was that women don't know how to adult properly, which is why they cook everything on high. But then we all started to relate to what was being said because it's not just about women. Young ho definitely has a female connotation and was viewed as such from the original tweet, but in reality, any gender can be a young ho, which is why men started realizing that this tweet relates to them as well.
But what really got me was when they said young hoes don't make dishwater. They wash everything dish by dish. I'm guilty. I never made dishwater a day in my life. I put soap on a sponge, I wash the plate. I put soap on a sponge, I wash the bowl. I put soap on my sponge, I wash the utensils. I'm a young hoe, y'all. I'm not beating the allegations either. Damn.
Essentially, we are not Charlie Kirk, but we are young hoes figuring out how to adult by putting all the colors in one load of laundry and ordering groceries online with Apple Pay. Don't act like you've never done this shit before, cause I know you have. So instead of looking at the young hoes inside of our $1,300 a month apartments, we should look outside to see why we might be engaging in adulting in the ways that we do. We are 26 years into the 21st century and are dealing with the consequences of two-party electoralism on domestic America. Cost of living increases, lack of universal benefits and policies, and the increased use of the repressive state apparatus against people like you and me is what the young ho has to deal with. As we figure out the direction of our lives, this is more than what we see on our phones. We can see it with our own eyes in real life. We are physically experiencing it in our social world. And beyond the physical, there's the mental damage that occurs from witnessing fascism be US colonialism turn inwards. To think what's going on is only half of what this nation has inflicted on overexploited countries, especially the global south. The young ho doesn't exist in a vacuum. We exist in the context of the power elite who created this infrastructure that we 20-year-olds live in now. So I would say that the young ho isn't uncommitted or plain soft. I would argue that the young ho is strong for figuring out life in these conditions. Instead of giving up on ourselves, we take the chance to figure out life on our own terms. And now we've realized that we're more alike than we once thought. Even though the original tweet was poking fun at the femininity of young hoes, I think this femininity is empowering as we enter the real world and become the new adults. You might think we're moving too fast for no reason, but the conditions create the necessity to move like flash, 100-yard dash. This isn't an attempt to invoke neoliberal feminism or the white pop feminism of the early 2010s. It's to say how wonderful it is that we all find solace in the comment sections of videos discussing the young ho joke. How we find ways to cultivate community through the madness of growing up black in 21st century America. I love the young hoes because I'm a young ho too. And it reminds me that I'm not alone in my struggles, in figuring out life, in figuring out how to adult at 21 years old. So as you joke about how we only pump $20 gas, you should be seriously critiquing how systems of oppression are the real reason why everything's on high.
Imagine it being 2025 and you are selling things at a market called plantation chillins as a white person. You haven't heard of plantation chillins? Well, let me give you the tea on that. Plantation chillins, handcrafted by Barbara Vickers, Historic Market, Charleston, South Carolina. The legend of the plantation chillin. There is a legend that plantation chillins come from Char Bar Plantation located on an island close to Charleston, South Carolina. A true plantation chillin is loving and a joy to its owner. Each is always faithful and obedient to its master's voice. The only problem ever discovered that a chillin has is that baby sometimes cries. You can help it when it does. Just turn it around and it will stop. I'm assuming that's what it says behind her thumb. I don't know. Bitch, are you fucking crazy? Are you insane? Are you out your rabbit ass mind? And the thing about it is, I'm about to show y'all the video, but I'm just flabbergasted. And if that is not Barbara Vickers, you are going to get the same heat, smoke, and all that comes with it. Just like Barbara Vickers, because you are just as complicit to your stupidity and your racism and all of the above.
Oh my God.
Pictures, please. Pictures.
Okay. All right.
I said no.
That's fine. Then no pictures. We'll be back.
See ya.
It's crazy to me how she was trying to hide the dolls. Like you were trying to literally put down the dolls so that the person videoing can't see them anymore. No, stand in your racism. Bitch, stand in your fucking racism so we know who the fuck you are. Barbara Vickers, you are definitely getting your shine on my page. I'm definitely letting you know that now. I cannot believe that shit. And then the doll with the hair. Trump done unleashed all the fucking idiots of the world. Like literally. gave all the idiots and racists of the world a voice, and it's just getting on my fucking nerves now.
Today, January 24th, the only news that it feels appropriate to report on is that an ICU nurse was shot and killed by ICE in Minneapolis, and his name is Alex Peretti. But between the shooting of Miss Renee Nicole Good and Mr. Peretti, many of you all haven't heard that another federal agent shot and wounded a Venezuelan man. I'm Regular Revolutionary, and I'm here with tonight's news for niggas who work 9 to 5s in 90 seconds. Start the clock. First on Alex Peretti. City officials say the shooting involved ICE agents near 26th and Nicolette. As crowds swelled and intensified, the response was immediate and volatile. As one bystander said, it's not going to get any better. We're just going to get more angry. Peretti was a 2006 graduate of Preble High School in Green Bay, Wisconsin. He attended the University of Minnesota and was at the time of his murder a still active nurse. Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino said Peretti wanted to do maximum damage to officers. Federal agents also stated that the Venezuelan man had assaulted an agent and resisted arrest. Keep that in mind as we go forward. On today's shooting, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz had this to say: "Thank God we have video. They already will slander this individual. They already have made this the case. But you all will start to see it. Some of you probably already have. There are multiple angles of this shooting, and I'll go back to what we talked about before. They're telling you not to trust your eyes and ears, not to trust the facts that you're seeing." Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said that to his knowledge, Peretti's only previous interaction with law enforcement was for parking tickets. And I can find nothing more on the Venezuelan man, but with all due respect to Mr. Peretti and Ms. Good, I do find it interesting that the one non-white person shot by ICE in Minnesota has gotten no coverage. And it's not just me that thinks that something's off. Let's play the numbers, nigga. Statistical data indicates that while police misconduct and violence against people of color often lead to much more intense community activism, they are numerically less likely to result in immediate systemic policy changes compared to similar instances involving white victims. And following today's shooting, the NBA announced that the scheduled game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors was postponed until Sunday evening. And that's the nice news, nigga. Be easy.
Name the gayest thing about frats.
Dressing up together in like robes.
Did you have a position in your frat?
I was the president of my fraternity.
This just sounds incriminating.
It was college, man.
I guess I'll read it in your tell-all. Hi, I'm Ananiah. This is Gaydar. What's a power bottom?
Someone who is receiving but maybe is in control of the situation.
I wonder how you might know that.
We've all explored the internet.
We've all gone down a rabbit hole or two.
Surfing the web.
Or somebody's hole. Name a drink that's gay, a drink that's straight, and a drink that's homophobic.
A drink that's straight, like a Guinness.
Sure.
Gay? Maybe like an Aperol Spritz?
Sure.
Like, I feel like I've never seen a guy drinking an O'Doul's that I wasn't worried about saying something in front of my sister.
What's gayer, sunrise or sunset?
When I come out to Silver Lake and hang out with this crowd, it usually happens after the sun goes down. So I'd say maybe the sun setting would be like a call to all gays in the area, like it's about to go down.
You're usually in parks after dark.
Right, yes. Or clubs. You think I'm hanging out in parks
at
night?
I think you might be throwing a red herring out there. What's the difference between queer and gay?
Gay is you are sexually attracted to the same sex that you are, and queer, I don't know. What is queer? It's kind of like you know when you see it.
You came on a show called Gaydar and you asked the host what queer is.
Well, I didn't want to cheat.
Yeah, if you didn't know it before, you're not going to know it after this. Queer is just an umbrella term for anyone having a non-traditional experience with their gender or sexuality. If I had to guess if you were gay, straight, or a homophobe, I have eyes. I think you're straight.
Correct.
Good for you. Do you feel like you're straight because you know you're straight, or you're straight because you were told you were straight?
My family thought I was gay when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
I just only have sisters. So it was like, if you're dressing me up, like I'm going to play along.
You'd be a great lesbian.
I think so too.
No, let me say it.
I know y'all don't like to listen to me when I say that y'all need to be prepared for anything, but I'm going to show y'all how prepared I be getting, right? This, shouts out to Nat Geo. This is a road atlas. A couple of, actually yesterday, there was wide outages with like a lot of carriers, like cell phone carriers, including AT&T and Verizon. And guess what? The U.S. government, when they invaded Venezuela, the soldiers who were on the ground made it clear that all their stuff stopped working. They did not know what the hell was going on. So because the U.S. military is capable of doing those things, and as we know, our police is very militarized, this road atlas, okay, has roads of every goddamn state down to the city. Where's New York? Hold on. This is Ohio, okay? Road maps. In case stuff goes south, I know y'all don't like to know where y'all going. Get a road atlas. This was not expensive. Well, depending on who you are. This was like $35. I personally think it's a good investment. And plus, I want to learn how to just get around without having to use GPS everywhere. Because guess what? That could be taken from you at any moment. I have first aid kits, like I said. I have water stored and on the ready. I have destinations set with my loved ones for where we'll meet if something goes south, both in and out of the country. Y'all need to have these type of plans ready. And these are just helpful plans to have in general, because you will know, look at this, Texas, all of Texas, and it gets down to the specific cities too. But like, you need to be ready. You need to be prepared. Okay. Look at this. This is Dallas right there. And it just shows you the roads in case you do need to use the roads to get to and fro. Okay? Get the fuck prepared and ready. Even my cat is down with the cause, okay? And have stuff for your pets. Her carrier bag is on the ready, and she is big, so I have to keep food around at all times anyway. So, yeah, y'all, this is not a game. And it doesn't hurt to be prepared, just in case. And look, it's a fun read. So, yeah, win-win.
Okay. The first time that I ever entered the orbit of the Grammys was 2016, when I provided background vocals on the internet's Grammy-nominated album, Ego Death. It was also their first nomination as well. Songs like Go With It, Special Affair, Something's Missing, and Girl, just to name a few. That was also the first time Kaytranada's music ever laid on my ears, and baby, I was blown away. 2019 comes around and Anderson .Paak gets introduced to me via Knowledge. Shout out to my guy. Anderson brings me into the studio to cut a few records and do some BGVs on a couple of songs. Carousel, Winner's Circle, and a Kaytranada produced record titled Getaway. Winner's Circle made the cut on his 2020 Grammy Award winning Ventura. Yes. And then Teacher Moses calls me into a studio session with her and Kaytranada working on a song for her project. I was laying down some background vocals and just kind of adding some color. And when I met Kay, I had to tell him about the 2 songs of his I've sang on already. And there was just instant synergy with the 3 of us. So afterwards, Kay sends me a beat pack with songs that would later end up on his 2021 Grammy Award-winning album, Bubba, which would also be the first album I've been a part of as a feature. Now, I get a phone call from a friend saying that because I'm a feature on the album, I receive a trophy. That got me excited. Very excited. Come to find out from another friend who was on the Grammy committee that I would have had to put in 51% or more into the entire body of work for me to receive a trophy. So I would be Grammy accredited with a participation certificate, not the Grammy. So to have the rug yanked from up under me publicly when I wasn't even expecting to receive anything in the first place stung in a place that felt rather foreign. And then you have people barking, talking about, you're still a winner to me. I just really need us to be for real, okay? So from that moment, my defense was to only let excitement become of me if it ever rested in my hand. So 2 albums later, I released my 2024 Grammy-nominated EP, En Route, for Best Progressive R&B Album. I was told congratulations about the nomination upon getting into my seat on a flight to Houston from the East Coast. And see, I thought it was from Kaytranada's Timeless album. Okay, that was also nominated. We did a song on there too. So I was ready to congratulate Kay only to discover it was my own congratulations that I was receiving, okay? So, for my work on Ego Death, Ventura, Bubba, and Timeless, I'm a 4-time participation certificate holder. Matter of fact, you can make that 5 if you include En Route, okay? I was also a Tiffany's Grammy nominee medal holder, all right? And that was a big deal. And that gave people something to be proud of. And that pride and excitement can be a slippery slope. Because while you're trying to be anchored in the now of the moment, people are dragging you into tomorrow, and before you know it, that beautiful moment has become a memory you vaguely recall. Mind you, I'm an only child and homeschooled like a motherfucker, okay? I ain't had to be in competition trying to prove my worth to nobody. So folks got real political and scientific with the reasons why I should receive the award. And again, I had no idea the album had even been submitted. Okay, everybody was deer in headlights. And then I realized the echoes from my experience with church and my sexuality began to sting certain parts of me when people would say things like, you know, what's already mine when it wasn't in my hand and out of my hands. So I didn't want to let myself down again, and publicly no less. There was a level of pressure I wasn't familiar with, so I vowed I would allow the people around me to be excited while I safely remained on the porch, so I didn't scrape myself with my own expectations, let alone anyone else's. My team has believed in me in ways I later discovered I was counting myself out, thinking I hadn't done enough. That's why I drug my feet, writing my speech, finishing it before I left that morning to get to the theater. I was ready to fix my lips to congratulate someone else because, again, counting myself out. And that's why I sat so far in the back, because I wanted to quickly haul ass after I didn't win. Avery Sunshine, you told me after our interview to please write your speech. And I'm so glad that I adhered to your kind advice. Kevin Ross, thank you for advising me on ways I shouldn't move. And Tina Ferris told me to rely on my support system. Those three pieces of advice kept me on a path to maintain what little bit of my sanity I have access to. So here we are. 5-time Grammy-accredited participation certificate holder, 2 Tiffany's Recording Academy nominees medals, 4 Grammy nominations, and a Grammy winner in 2026. My nigga.
Hey, don't sit at the table, man. Don't sit. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yo, you wildin'. Beyonce would never be better than Michael Jackson. Hey, yo, my man.
Why is our VP running down the street like that?
I don't know, but I ain't sticking around to find out. Let's go.
I don't run because I see other people running. I am a veteran. When I retreat, it's so that I can plan my charge.
Oh, hold on, wait for me. So how many slaves were taken from Africa to America?
1 million.
Nah, it's gotta be like 10 million.
Actually, the answer is 0. Slaves weren't taken from Africa, people were, and we have to give them their humanity back. And that's the end of our tour. Good luck! I don't need to know why we're running. But if we leave early, do we still get paid?
Tilly, pay attention. Heart's led. You can't just be throwing anything you want. Keep losing, man.
Phoenix, Friday the 13th is already scary AF. You can't be yelling at people during Cards and Culture.
On February 13th, we are teaching gentle spades. This will be a safe space and it's open to all ages.
Dog, she too grown not to know how to play. Don't sit at the table, man. Don't sit. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Tilly, let's go. Girl, who raised you? When we run, you run. Let's go.
Oh, man. Oh. Why y'all running?
Yo, man, we saw you running. You good?
Nah, I got a parking ticket.
Hold on, wait. That's why we've been running?
That's wild. But I got this new season brochure.
Okay. They got a Valentine's Day concert coming up.
And a New Jack Swing 90s concert.
And a gospel concert? There's a leak in this old building, and my soul.
Hey, y'all. We done ready?
I vote for a name change. We should stop calling it white supremacy and start calling it white narcissism. And I'm going to tell you why. I was reading a book called Fear of Black Consciousness by Lewis Gordon. And something clicked so hard, y'all, I had to put the book down. Because I just needed a minute to process. Because a lot of what we describe as supremacy doesn't actually look like confidence or dominance. It looks like insecurity. It looks like fragility. It looks like people losing their minds the second they're not centered. And that's not supremacy, that is narcissism. Yeah, So let me explain what I mean. Malignant narcissism is basically when entitlement, lack of empathy, and obsession with control mixed with aggression is not just, I think I'm great. It's, I deserve to be centered, obeyed, deferred to. And if I'm not, somebody has to pay. So now let's look at the real world, right? Why does somebody lose it when a Black person talks about racism? Why does teaching accurate history feel like a personal attack? Why does someone crash a conversation about police violence and make it about their feelings? Why does equality feel like oppression? That's not the behavior of someone who's secure in power. That's the behavior of someone whose identity only works if everyone else stays small. Lewis Gordon talks about how whiteness gets treated as the default for being human. So when Black people speak from our own experiences, it feels like a disruption, like we're making it about race, even though race was already baked in. Everything is about race, everything. And that's where the narcissism shows up. Because narcissistic systems don't just want dominance, they want validation. They want to be admired, obeyed, and never questioned. Look at the examples. A Black athlete kneels quietly, and it's a national meltdown. Black students ask for inclusion, and it's, why are they dividing us? I say that ICE is actually modernized slave patrols. And I get white people in my comments who admittedly do not have Jewish ancestry saying, no, ICE is the Gestapo. Shut the f. That's not supremacy acting calm and assured. That's narcissism reacting to a loss of control. Malignant narcissism can't handle criticism. It can't handle boundaries. And it definitely can't handle being told you're not the center of this story. That's why the reaction is always rage, denial, or rewriting reality. And Lewis Gordon points out something really important. When people insist that their behavior is just human nature, what they're really doing is universalizing themselves. Everyone is like me. Everyone thinks like me. So if you don't, you're the problem. That is textbook narcissism. And once you see it in that way, it just makes so much more sense, right? Why equality feels like theft. Why accountability feels like persecution. Why diversity feels like erasure. Why Black consciousness is treated like danger instead of awareness. This system doesn't freak out because it's losing power. It freaks out because it's losing attention. So yeah, I'm voting to change the language. Because white supremacy sounds like strength. And what we're dealing with is actually a system that can't survive without admiration, dominance, and silence from everyone else. That's not supremacy, y'all. That is white narcissism. And once you name it that way, the behavior stops being confusing. It becomes predictable.
So recently, y'all, I slayed a dragon. It wasn't a fairy tale, though. Let me tell you what happened. So imagine me in a coffee shop relaxing. A woman walked up to me, similar build, cute fashion. In hindsight, she didn't ask me for the seat. She just put her hand on the chair across from me. And I mistook arrogance for curiosity. Some smirks really do be looking like smiles, and the stranger hadn't been that kind in a while. It threw me off. I was like, sure, I mean, why not? There were plenty of seats around. I didn't know why she wanted this particular spot. She sat and she asked me, so what do you do? I said, hi, how are you? I'm a poet. In fact, before you walked over, I was focused on this set I have tonight. I got a feature at this dope venue in the city. She said, oh, okay, how long you been doing poetry? I said, many years, more than 20. But when I caught her expression, my smile started to fade. She said, more than 2 decades and you still performing around the way? I at least thought you'd been in Germany or a national stage. My nostrils flared. I shifted in my seat. I adjusted my glasses. I said, what'd you say to me? She said, no, I'm just saying, more than 20 years should probably bring you fame. I said, well, the fact that I'm still in demand leaves me amazed. I'm grateful. I looked at sis again. There were no scales, no sharp talons, but it was a little smoke on her tongue. She was hateful. She said, how old are you? I took a long look around the room. I was hinting at sis to go on and move. Trying not to be rude, I said, I'm in my early 40s. She said, true. I don't see no ring. I said, no, baby girl, not yet. She said, so you ain't meet nobody who wanted to take you off the market? I said, well, of the few men that I dated, there was one that I thought I would be with for life, but it didn't work out that way. She said, oh, another independent woman who can't find her Mr. Right. I said, sis, you want to fight? But then she laughed at my offense. Instead of falling back, she leaned in. She said, you came in here by yourself. What, you ain't got no friends? At least tell me you got some kids. I said, I don't have time for this. My life is beautiful the way that it is. She said, oh, you one of them. I said, one of who, friend? She said, you're the type to meet a grim reality with toxic positivity. You sitting there like you never wanted to be mommy or wifey. I said, you're talking to a woman who has radical acceptance for whatever God has for me. Honestly, I'm at peace. And then I remembered I didn't have to be in this woman's vicinity. I started to gather my things up quickly. I said, for the record, I didn't enjoy your company. But since you forced yourself upon me, the least you can do is tell me your name. Sis gonna say same. I said, same as what, girl? Stop playing. She said, same as the woman that I'm talking to, boo. She said, sis, I'm you. I'm the dark corners of your brain. I give voice to what your subconscious be saying. You met a lot of hurt people who wanted you to feel the same. You used to tune them out, but now in the quiet corners of your day, you start to regurgitate all the negative things they used to throw your way. She said, look around, sis, I'm not even here. But I needed you to hear your inner voice really is that rude. You need to get back to therapy and get them people's opinions up off of you. She said, because I know your life is beautiful, but the question is, do you? Because right now, you sound like your own biggest hater. And until you let their opinions of you go, you are the only dragon that needs slaying. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
I think we need to give Bisan the same energy that we give Anne Frank before it's too late.
It's raining. Hundreds of thousands of people are in tents.
I'm still alive. I'm surviving after the day 3 after 100. But that might be the last day or the last night in Nasser Medical Complex.
This is happening now. This is the sky of Khan Yunis. I'm now in the south. I'm in Khan Yunis.
I grew up in North Carolina, and Anne Frank's diary, The Diary of a Young Girl, was actually used in our social studies and world history curriculum. The book is literally her diary. It's a collection of her writings during the time that her and her family were in hiding for 2 years during the German occupation of the Netherlands in World War II. Would ultimately die in a concentration camp in 1945, but her father preserved those writings. And the book has gone on to sell over 30 million copies. It's been published in 70 different languages. It's won award upon award upon award. It's used in school curriculums, and Anne Frank has been, for all intents and purposes, made into most powerful martyrs of all time. She's going to live forever, and her writings and her life are a constant reminder of what the Holocaust is and how it should never ever happen again. I find it so interesting that we have someone doing that right now. Bisan, who is a Palestinian journalist who has been documenting the genocide in Gaza for well over half a decade now. He's still alive, which is miraculous because Israel has killed nearly 300 journalists since October 7th, 2023. Bisan actually won an Emmy in 2024 for her short form series, It's Bisan from Gaza and I'm Still Alive. And there were actually significant calls led by groups to rescind that Emmy because they claimed that she was part of a Palestinian terrorist organization. Be clear, Anne Frank's story is incredibly important and her book needs to continue to be read and it needs to continue to be in circulation. But I think that we need to make a more concerted effort as the people to recognize when there are other situations very similar to Anne Frank's going on right in front of us. This isn't 1944. We have cell phones. We don't have to wait to read a book. The information, the education, the stories, and the people are right there in front of us at our fingertips.
I wish more people didn't feel like they needed to use liquid courage or another substance in order to be able to have fun and be a good time. Because what you don't realize, that version of you that comes out when you've been consuming something exists when you're sober still. That loving, that caringness, that free nature, all of that is able to be accessed while you're sober. Now, does it take a little bit more mental and emotional work and labor to feel comfortable being in that state sober? Yes, but it would be more worthwhile and more beneficial to your well-being and your entire character, in my opinion. Because think about it like this, you know, when you buy a video game, you want to have all the enjoyable content, all the fun, everything that you can do in the game to be in the base package of the game. And then when you get the DLC, that's simply bonus material. And what you're doing by like telling yourself that I only could access this version of myself when I had the substance, I need a DLC. I cannot be fun, I cannot enjoy anything without a DLC. Imagine video games were always built like that. The best part of the game is always blocked behind a paywall. People would not like that. And this isn't to be judgmental or anything, because I know there's a lot of things like mental health. I know it's hard. I know that we have a society built around shame to make you feel bad about expressing yourself and being free and make things seem like they're cringe if you sing poorly or if you dance badly. But all those things are what is a part of being human. That is what is a part of the original game package that so many people have taken out of it and put it into the DLC. But take that out of the DLC and bring it back into the base life. You know? And this is no shame. It takes time and it takes work, but you can do it. And I want you to know you don't have to. And once again, this isn't me being against the DLC. You still can do it, but I feel like it should just be like little tweaks and bonuses, not the whole fun part of yourself being relegated to this region under this specific circumstances. You know what I'm saying? But that makes sense. But you're cool and beautiful and everything when you're sober. You're fun. Just let it loose. Let it loose. Let it loose. Like, give me that.
My homeboy thought his girlfriend was cheating, and then he got his ass beat because he pressed the wrong nigga. So my old homeboy was dating his coworker. But the thing is, he was cheating on her the whole time because he thought that she was cheating on him. So one day, me and my homeboy was chilling. We're gonna call him Levi, and we're gonna call his girlfriend Kim. Levi looks at me and says, bro, I think Kim is cheating. I'm like, bro, you say this all the time. At this point, I think you just want an excuse to cheat. He said, bro, I haven't cheated on her, bro. So I'm like, fuck it. Why do you think she's cheating on you, bro? He says, bro, she just got her gay best friend to start working with us. I'm like, bro, do you hear what you just said? She got her gay best friend to start working with us. I said, exactly, nigga. He's gay. This nigga say, no, bro, because even outside of work, he's always around her and her friends. And I'm like, again, he's gay. My phone died. But anyways, this nigga starts saying, nah, bro, he putting up an act. You think this nigga is pretending to like boys so he can crack your girl? He says, yes. He pulls up the Instagram. The first picture that comes up is a white boy in a skirt with a pink crop top and a jean jacket. I look down at the picture and I look up at my homeboy. You think he is trying to crack your girl? He says, yes, bro, he's just faking. At this point, I think my homeboy is trolling. There's no way you think this dude is trying to crack your girl. Newsflash, he's not trolling. He actually thinks this dude is trying to crack his girl. So fast forward about 3 weeks later, it's his girlfriend's 21st birthday. So for Kim's birthday, Levi takes her out on a date during the day and gets her a few gifts. Once he drops her off, later in the evening, she goes out with her friends to celebrate the rest of the night. She's having a girls' night out, but also her gay friend, we're gonna call him Melvin. Melvin is there. Meanwhile, they're having their fun. Me, Levi, and my other homeboy are chilling at Levi's spot. It gets to a point we get hungry. Let's go pick up a pizza. Our mistake was we hopped in Levi's car and let him drive. While we're in the car waiting for the pizza to be done, Levi started talking about something. Bro, she was supposed to text me and call when she got home. She still hasn't called. I'm like, bro, she's probably still out. No, bro, everything is closed. There's nothing she could be doing at this time of night. Noted, it was literally only about 9:30. Me and my other homeboy, we're like, bro, just relax. Like, it's her 21st birthday. She's probably out at a club or something with her friend. He says, bro, I'm not worried about all that. My thing is, why did she have to bring Melvin? It's supposed to be a girls' night out. I'm like, bro, he likes boys. He's considered one of the girls. Fast forward, we get the pizza and we assume that we're on our way back to Levi's crib. We're not on our way back to Levi's crib. Y'all know what this nigga does? This nigga decides to drive to Kim's house to see if she's there. Me and my other homeboy, we're telling this nigga like, bro, you're being mad insecure, bro. The dude is gay and you've been cheating on her anyways. Why do you care so much? This nigga straight up ignores us. So we pull up in front of the girl's house. Her car is not in a driveway and you can clearly see that her lights are off. This nigga is going crazy. He said, bro, she should be home by now. It's late. My nigga, again, it's her 21st birthday. She's still out. He says, no, bro, I'm about to call her. You could have did that before we pulled up. So he calls her. She answers on the second ring. She says, hello. He says, are you home? She says, no, I'm still out with my friends. He says, share your location so I can make sure you're safe. She literally says, okay. And as soon as she gets off the phone, she sends this nigga the location. Again, we assume that we're on our way back to Levi's crib. We're not on our way back to Levi's crib. This nigga is following the directions to get to where she is. At this point, me and my other homeboy, we just stopped trying. So we get to where she is. She is at one of our hangout spots. It's called Lesnar Bridge. It's literally a bridge with a beach under it. Like I said, she's with all of her friends. I think she was probably with about 5 girls and the gay guy. But Levi does not announce that we're there. He's peeping from afar to see what they are doing. They have a speaker with bottles on the beach and they're just dancing, literally dancing. But Levi sees this one thing that he does not like. Melvin and Kim takes a selfie. They take one of those selfies where they hold each other's faces and does the smooch face emoji with one leg up in the air. This nigga Levi talking about something, what the fuck? And then he starts walking over there. I'm like, bro, you not about to press that boy over no fucking smooch face selfie. So Levi start walking up and he calls out to Melvin and Kim. Me and my other homeboy is slowly following behind him. So Levi gets up to them. I don't really hear anything that they're saying, but you can tell that he's pressing Melvin. And after like a few seconds, all you hear is Melvin start yelling out, and what, bitch? And what? And what? As we get closer, all you see is Melvin take off his slides and just start swinging on Levi. And I'm thinking Levi about to do this nigga dirty. Melvin is doing this nigga green, bro. I tell you, Melvin is hitting this nigga Levi with some shit. Like, he is piecing this nigga up. Levi doesn't have that much hair, but somehow, some way, Melvin found a way to grip this nigga head and literally drag him across the sand, just throwing wide-ass uppercuts. Levi is now just windmilling for his life. All the girls are just watching. All you hear is Kim just screaming out, Melvin, stop! Melvin, stop! She's not even trying to stop Levi. She's trying to stop Melvin is still just throwing wide-ass uppercuts, talking about, bitch, 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 what? And you hear all of them shits connecting, bro. This nigga Levi, he is fucked up. His fucking shirt is ripped. He lost his fucking shoes. I don't know where his fucking slides. I'm just standing there just looking so fucking disappointed, bro. Like, this shit is embarrassing. So me and my other homeboy, we step in and help Kim break it up. So we get them off of each other. Well, we get Melvin off of Levi. And then so we help Levi stand up and he's brushing himself off. I tell you, this nigga doesn't even get to do that for at least 5 seconds. Melvin comes out of nowhere just rocking this nigga in his shit again. All you hear is mink, mink, mink. Nigga come crashing in like, bitch, bitch. So they start fighting again. And at this point, we just stop trying. At this point, they're fighting in muddy ass sand because they're getting a little too close to the water. Melvin throws a punch and slips, but he quickly gets back up. Levi takes that as an opportunity to try to start swinging on Melvin, but he also slips and misses. But when he missed, he slipped into the water. So after that, he tries to get up out of the water. This nigga Melvin goes and kicks this nigga back into the water and says, drown, bitch. And each time Levi tries to get up, Melvin kicks him again. Drown, bitch. Drown, bitch. That's when everybody on the beach just runs in and grab Melvin. At this point, it's over with. At this point, I look at Levi, I'm like, bro, get up, bro. And Melvin is still talking shit, but I'm not even listening to what he's saying. Levi gets up out of the water and starts walking. Me and my other homeboy follows directly behind him. Melvin is still talking shit to this nigga. Levi looks back and says, you still talking shit? I'm like, bro, keep walking. Like, he just did you the greenest way possible, and you're trying to go round 3? Keep walking. We get in the car. He doesn't even start the car for like fucking 10 minutes. We just sitting there in silence, bro. I'm just scrolling on my phone, just trying to ignore everything that just happened. He then looks at his phone. He gets a text from Kim. He says, what the fuck? The text said, I'm blocking you. Don't ever talk to me again. And I can't blame her. Like, you literally just crashed her birthday party because you thought that she was cheating on you with a guy that likes boys. The next day, this nigga calls us and tries to explain everything. And then he asks, who do y'all think won that? You don't even want us to answer that shit.
Can you name 3 bisexual rappers?
Logic.
Bisexual, not biracial.
No, bisexual. You're right.
Hi, I'm Ananiah. This is Gaydar. What were the Stonewall riots, and where did they take place?
I think they took place in New York. Marsha P. Johnson was on the front lines.
Yes.
I know they were standing up for gay and trans people.
Yes.
They were living in direct opposition of bigotry and the patriarchy.
Who was your Disney childhood sexual awakening?
Corbin Bleu. He was like my guy.
Crushes when you're younger like that are so pure-hearted.
Yeah.
I wanted to make them cupcakes. What is Bush Girl Summer?
Oh, full bush.
Full bush.
No bald here.
No, and we're
Full
not
bush.
talking about George.
No.
Or
HW.
George. Can I see you in my office?
Yes, of course.
I don't think I'm necessarily a Bush girl.
I'm not, but that's solely because I have ingrowns.
We're speaking for the girls with and we're speaking with the girls with ingrown. What does fa'afafine?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It exists as a third gender in Samoan culture. We did not adhere to a gender binary prior to being colonized, and you can thank religion for that bullshit.
What straight dating rules don't apply in queer relationships?
The concept of time in general doesn't apply in queer relationships.
Yes.
They live like
I
the
can sign on to
military. You know, like in the military, they're like, every year is 7 years for the military. That's queer people. And I envy them for it, honestly.
Honestly, hell yeah.
They yearn on a level I can't even compute.
You're gonna need a guitar and a studio session. What's the gayest NFL team name? Are you
Let's say the Patriots. You love America.
I wasn't going there. Uncle Sam, pull that out. I did not mean that. Uncle Sam, keep it in. If I had to guess if you were gay, straight, or a homophobe, I know you're straight. You're like a paragon of culture, so it really doesn't matter.
I would say I'm straight sun.
Sure.
And then I'm gay moon and homophobic rising.
A lot of people are gonna say the same about me.
Do not, I repeat, do not go to High Road Japanese Restaurant and Lounge in Miami, Florida, and I'm gonna tell you why. Last night about 11-something, almost midnight, the establishment decided to call police on a black man. 2 police officers showed up, and the black man, he ran inside with his hands up because he was scared, and he said, I walked here. And that's what he kept repeating, right? So my situational awareness is actually really good, and there was no real disturbance to the peace. There was no threat or anything. We're already sitting outside, and they end up taking him to the parking lot in the plazas. So they have him like roughed up against the car, correct? And then that's when a white man comes outside and he starts advocating for him. I don't know if that's his friend or if he was just a passerby and he was seeing everything that was going on. He actually walks up to the police, starts talking to the police on his behalf, correct? I see the police, they then let him go, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the black man probably raised his voice. He didn't get buck, he did not sit here and like move forward at anybody. He didn't sit here and do anything wrong that I could see. He did not do anything wrong. That's when the police sit here and they tackle him to the ground. The police officer that's on him is already way bigger than him. He tackles him onto the ground, and then that's when the woman who's the police officer, she then starts stepping on his arm. I'm so confused. There's nothing in this man's hand. I really want to let y'all know there's nothing in this man's hand. This man is not armed at all. So everyone is now outside the restaurant and watching what's going on. Of course, as y'all can see, I was very distraught and I was yelling in the video. But at first, that wasn't me because I was trying to see what was going on. And I was like, okay, I need to see how this plays out before I sit here and say something. At this point, they have him on the ground in the most compromising position and they keep him on the ground. We hear about 4 or 5 cop cars. Like crazy, out of nowhere. We hear all these sirens coming out of nowhere. I'm like, y'all called for backup? Did y'all really call for backup? You already have this man on the ground face down. You called him for backup when literally it only took one of you guys to get him on the ground? I'm so confused at this point. I'm so confused. We have all these cops. Now these cops are running out of their cars. They're running over to him. They're trying to grab his legs, all these things. And I'm just like, what? He didn't do anything. Literally, I was watching the interaction with the police. He didn't do anything. So why do we have all this excessive force? That's when, as I start speaking up, a woman who was sitting on the inside, she proceeds to approach me and she says, I agree with you. I understand. He didn't do anything wrong. I was watching his interaction inside. He didn't do anything wrong at all. She literally said that she overheard those in the establishment. They called police and they lied and said that he was armed so that the police could come faster. Do y'all understand how crazy it is to sit here and weaponize racism and police brutality? They called. She said that they called and they lied to police and said that he was armed so that they would come faster. At this point, I'm livid. That's why y'all see the video that y'all see, because I'm like, no, there's absolutely no way. There's a potential that this black man might get killed wrongfully because y'all sat here and decided to weaponize racism and police brutality. Really? And like I said, I know y'all are like, okay, well, the establishment lied. Yes, they did lie, but the excessive and brute force was so not necessary. It wasn't necessary at all, because it got to a point where the big cop who was on top of him, he said, put a car here, put a car here, put a car here, and block it off. So people can't see what y'all are doing. We see y'all. It's not being hidden. We see y'all literally with our 2 eyes. Everybody sees y'all. What is happening? Oh, also, I forgot to add, to make matters worse, explain to me how that woman, she sat here and she said she heard the employee say that on the phone, correct? And then that's when another employee proceeds to laugh. And the crazy thing is, hindsight is so 20/20, because we saw the employees inside, they were recording and laughing, and we were just like, what's funny about this? Like, nothing about this is funny at all. And this before everything started really getting escalated. So I'm not understanding why people would do that.
Hey, y'all. Hey, you said it was an emergency. What's up? Okay, so I've been giving it a lot of thought recently. Okay. And I feel like in 2026, I want to start dating girls. Nigga. Wait.
Yo.
Hold on, let me call him back. Hold on.
Yo, that was the big emergency?
Yes.
That's what you had to call us about?
Oh, I'm irritated. Okay, look, I'm not with the shenanigans, bro. You about to get blocked. Okay, I got a meeting in 5 minutes. I'm not in the mood. Listen, just hear me out, okay? I feel like I haven't had the best luck dating the last few years, and I feel like maybe one of the problems is that I need to start dating women. Cameron, you pee sitting down. What are we talking about right now? What are we doing? Okay, you came out the womb with your hands on your hips and a pep in your step. Babe, you're fruity down. Okay? And that's okay. At the most fundamental level, we're not changing that in 2026 just because we feel like it.
Unfortunately.
I'm Trade.
Who?
Me. You're about as straight as a Venn diagram. Please. I can give straight down. What? Say that one more time. I can give straight down. Say that one more time. I can give straight down. Yeah, he's not getting it, y'all. He can't hear it. He's not. Babe, first of all, bring the hand gestures down. Okay? Straight niggas don't say, oh, I'm giving straight down. Like, straight niggas don't talk like that, first and foremost. Okay? But so y'all gotta understand that's because I'm comfortable with y'all. Because I know y'all, I'm gonna talk like myself. But if I were to approach a woman, like, can you walk across the room and then come back for us? T. All right, period. Say that. Hold on. Yeah, just give us a little walk. Let's get into that. Got him. That boy is gay. And I firmly believe that. Okay. Stop. That was a regular ass walk. It wasn't. That was a bad bitch walk. Okay? Women don't want to date bad bitches. Bad bitches want to be friends with bad bitches. And unfortunately, you're a bad bitch. Okay? And we wouldn't change a thing about you. Okay? We love a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? We a group full of bad bitches. All right? One thing about y'all gonna drag shit. I swear. Who? Babe, this was you. You said, walk nasty. See, you're trying to be funny, bro. You're trying to be funny. We ain't got no reason to lie to you. Okay? None. You're not trade. You're something of what we would call a negotiation. Okay? All right, y'all. I don't even care. Never mind. Don't even worry about it. Whatever. Wait. Okay. He's getting upset, y'all. Hold on. He's okay. Upset. Let's give you a fair chance. Okay. Show us how you would approach a girl. Like, you trying to talk to her. Let's see. Maybe it's different. Maybe you have like a different energy. No. Trust, like, I can eat this up. Okay, hold on. We'll give you a fair shot. Sure you can. Hold on. Go ahead. Let's see. Hey, I just thought you were really cute, and I was wondering if I can get your number. That ain't the one. That ain't the one. That girl's gonna call you the P word, and it rhymes with funk. Never mind, bro. Never mind. Never mind, bro. Never mind.
You can allow your feelings to be hurt, but do not allow this to break your spirit. So this could be job hunting or relationships, but I'm gonna use both because they're both very similar in a lot of ways. So you can really want a certain job or person. You could do everything right. You can reach out to them. You could be the best person. But they may still never want you. Okay? And that is fine. But don't let that question your worth. Your feelings can be sad about it. You can complain about it. But you do not need to let that fester and understand that has no effect on your worth. Because let me give you an analogy, right? Imagine the sun, right? And the sun is providing so many light to so many plants, people, and organisms all over the planet. But imagine the sun only focused on cave dwellers. It said the bat is not worried about the energy that provided. The bat doesn't want to be out and shining underneath me. And then the sun dimmed its light. Imagine how many plants would no longer be able to receive that energy. Then how many other life species would continue to suffer because the sun decided to dim its light based on something that was never going to want to see it that much in the first place. That is what you're doing, okay? Never dim your light. I'm so serious. It is so tempting because you think external validation improves your internal sense of worth, but it doesn't. Actually, quite the opposite. Once you improve your inner sense of self-worth, that external validation will start coming more, not the other way around. So do not dim your light for someone who doesn't care to see it in the first place. Continue to shine and continue to find places where that light will be reached and the people will enjoy it and you'll get it. Okay? I'm so serious. Like, I'm so serious. All y'all like to be pessimistic. If that's you, I tried, but yeah. I love you. You're gonna get through this. Don't do too much. Just breathe, go for a walk, and give yourself a second. Okay? Because you're gonna get exactly what you want in life, because that's how it works for you. Bye.
For generations, doctors have been taught that the first-line treatment for all Black patients that have hypertension or high blood pressure is a different medication than all other races. But as of August 2025, that's finally changed. My name is Dr. Joel, the Medical Mythbuster, and today let's talk about hypertension and race-based prescribing. For the past 2 decades, U.S. hypertension guidelines have told doctors like myself that Black patients without other comorbidities should start with only 2 medication classes: calcium channel blockers or thiazide diuretics, instead of ACE inhibitors, or ARBs, which were first line for everyone else. But in August 2025, the American College of Cardiology and American Heart Association released updated high blood pressure guidelines that no longer uses race in initial treatment decisions. Instead, they recommend choosing from any of the 4 first-line blood pressure medication classes that I mentioned earlier, and basing that decision on a person's cardiovascular risk, using something called PREVENT. The PREVENT calculator estimates a person's 10 and 30-year cardiovascular risk. That's things like heart attacks, heart failure, and stroke. And it does that by looking at your individual factors, like your cholesterol, kidney functioning, smoking status, diabetes, and more. In other words, treatment is based on a person's actual risk profile, not just their race. And this shift matters. Research from UCSF showed that even when doctors followed the old race-based prescribing rules, Black patients still were more likely to have uncontrolled hypertension than non-Black patients. That meant using race-based prescribing wasn't working. Instead, it was medication adherence, lifestyle and diet, adding a second or third drug that actually made a difference. Other studies like this one show that Black people aren't a monolith, and that hypertension patterns differ among people of African descent depending on geography, environment, access to care, and so much more. Race is not a proxy for biology. These new guidelines are huge because it moves us away from race as a shortcut for pharmacologic therapy. When we stop relying on race and instead understand why a disease process happens, we open the door to better, more precise care for everyone.
If Black history is American history, which it is, then why does Black history get its own month? Why is it important to call Black history by its name? Nicole Hannah-Jones, journalist, historian, creator of the 1619 Project, speaks directly to this necessity. We were not actors, but acted upon. We were not contributors, just recipients. White people enslaved us and white people freed us. We appeared only where unavoidable. Slavery mentioned briefly in the chapters of this nation's most deadly war, and then Black people disappeared again for a full century, until magically reappearing as Martin Luther King Jr. gave a speech about a dream, never really explaining why. 100 years after the abolition of slavery, King had to lead the March on Washington in the first place. What would it mean to reframe our understanding of US history by considering 1619 as our country's origin point? How would looking at contemporary American life through this lens help us better appreciate the contributions of Black Americans not only to our culture, but also to our democracy itself? Like all origin stories, this one seeks to explain our society to itself, from the contradictions and the ideological struggles of a nation founded on both slavery and freedom. The story of Black America cannot be disentangled from the story of America, and our attempts to do so have forced us to tell ourselves a tale full of absences, evasions, and lies, one that fails to satisfactorily explain the society we live in and leaves us unable to become the society we want to be.
1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10.
All right. Number 2 is gonna be, and you have to do it this exact same way.
Okay.
I ate noodles with no packet. And you gotta do the thing like that.
Okay.
All right. 1.
I eat noodles with no packet.
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10. Okay, so 4 is gonna be yuck.
All right, go.
So start back at 1.
Yeah.
1,
I ate noodles with no packet.
3, yuck. 5,
6,
7,
8,
9.
10.
Is it me again?
No, it's me. You just win.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So 6.
Why are we doing only even numbers?
Okay,
Which
5.
half?
5.
Okay.
5. You gotta do it just like this. Daddy, chill. 1.
I eat noodles.
It's 8.
Oh, I ate noodles with no packet.
3.
Yuck.
Daddy, chill.
6,
7,
8,
9.
10. 7 is gonna be go crazy, go stupid,
All right, go ahead.
I said that was 7.
Yeah.
So back at 1.
Yeah.
1.
I ate noodles with no packy.
Oh. 3. Yuck. 5.
No.
No, you just did 4. 5.
Yeah, 5 is
Daddy chill.
6.
Oh, this is literally what. Go crazy. Go stupid.
8.
9.
10. You gotta get it together.
I'm losing it.
Come on, remember. All right, 1 is he was number 1. He was number 1.
I eat noodles with no packet.
3.
Yuck.
Daddy chill.
6.
Go crazy. Go stupid.
8.
9.
10. Okay, so 10 is gonna be cheers to the girls' weekend.
All right. It's the easiest one to remember.
He was number 1.
Yeah.
He was number 1.
That's not. Oh, you don't watch SpongeBob. It's he was number 1.
He was number 1. This is yours.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, I ate noodles with no packet.
3.
Yuck.
Daddy chill.
6.
Go crazy. Go stupid.
8.
9.
Cheers to the girls' weekend. All right. 3 is gonna be cereal with the canned Merc. He was number 1.
I eat noodles with no packet.
Cereal with the canned Merc.
Yuck.
Daddy chill. 6. Go crazy. Go stupid.
8.
9.
Is this mine?
Yes.
Cheers to the girls' weekend.
Oh my God, this video is 5 minutes. Okay.
Number 9 is gonna be, what is it, the braids?
All right, go ahead.
He was number 1.
I eat noodles with no packy.
I eat cereal with canned milk. It's mine.
Yuck.
Daddy chill.
6.
Why do I get, go crazy. Go stupid.
It's not 8, is it? It's 8.
Yeah, and then, you said 8, and then, what is it, the braids?
Cheers to the girls' weekend.
No, you need to say it better.
Cheers to the girls' weekend. This is hard, okay?
This is hard.
All right, so 6 is gonna be 795.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He was number 1.
I eat noodles with no packet.
Cereal with the canned Merc.
Yuck.
Daddy chill.
795.
795. Go crazy. Go stupid.
8.
What is it, the braids?
Cheers to the girls' weekend.
All right, we gotta make this perfect. What's number 9? Or what's number 8?
My man got 2 jobs.
All right, are you locked in?
Okay.
This is it.
Okay.
Are you locked in?
Okay, I'm locked in.
Are you locked in?
Who's going first?
You just made it up.
So
Are you
I
locked
do
in?
number 1, yeah.
Yes. Are you locked in? Okay, come on.
He was number 1.
I ate noodles with no packet.
Cereal with the canned milk.
Yuck.
Daddy chill.
795.
Go crazy. Go stupid.
My man got 2 jobs.
What is this one?
It's yours. What's in your head?
I have number 10. Oh, what is it, the braids?
Cheers to the girls' weekend.
What people don't understand is that how American chattel slavery differed from other forms of slavery that preceded it. So if you think about, and this is the kind of pushback you get when you talk about slavery. Well, I wasn't there. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And that was, look at how long ago that was, and they cannot seem to connect the dots on that. But what made it unique from any other form of enslavement was the manner in which a person became enslaved, the length of servitude, the treatment of the enslaved, and how they were perceived as human beings. Before the European slave trade began, most people who became enslaved became so as a result of war. Two societies went to war, winners enslaved the losers, so on and so forth. But Europeans systematically turned the capturing, shipping, and breeding of other human beings into a business that would become the backbone of an entire economy.
Yeah.
You see, that's different. And it was situated around a belief in our intrinsic dehumanization, our lack of humanness. We were not perceived as full humans. And therefore, because we were not full humans, we didn't have to be treated like humans. After slavery came the multitude of lynchings, all the way up through George Floyd, Breonna. It goes all the way. When did the actual injury and assault stop? What is the symptomology of post-traumatic slave syndrome? Because the truth of the matter, it's not a diagnosis. It's not post-traumatic stress disorder, which is treated with medication and talk therapy and any number of other things. Post-traumatic suggests that not only have you been harmed physically, you've been harmed emotionally, you've been harmed spiritually, you've been harmed economically.
Right.
You have been harmed politically. You've been harmed. And that requires more than medicine and talk therapy. That requires justice. Healing cannot happen without justice. Because we'd love that to be it, because all they do is put a code in the DSM and figure out how to get paid for injuring us.
You got this professor fired, and then you admitted that you threw the assignment together in 30 minutes? Roll the clip.
Was it hard for you to come up with the things that you wanted to say?
Not at all. I was actually just telling this story earlier. I was at my my good friend. I was at her house, and we were about to go to a musical that OU was putting on, or a play. And I was like, oh, I have to do this assignment really quick. It'll just take a second. And then I read the topic, and I was like, oh, this is going to be so easy. Like, I have a very strong opinion on this topic. And then I wrote it in maybe like 30 minutes. It was really easy for me to come up with things to say.
This is not academic integrity. This is not about discrimination. This is about a student passing over white mediocrity as being exceptional and then feeling like she's being a victim when she get called out for it. You created yourself as a martyr, where you made this trans professor be sensationalized as attacking you uniquely for your Christian views. Whole time, you was being a lazy ass student that just passed along a paper because you was trying to get to a musical. The instructor lost their job and was barred from teaching duties because they was able to acknowledge this student passed off a half-baked paper that they let in the oven go for 30 minutes, and it should have been done way longer than that, just for them to claim to be a martyr of the Christian faith, a victim because you were discriminated against. No, you passed in a bad paper, and you proving it right now. I stand in all solidarity with the trans professor that got barred from this school, and I hope they able to sue my university at their ass off. And in fact, I feel like I should be able to sue university. I still got to pay the government for all the student loans I took to get all 3 of my degrees from university, and y'all are devaluing my degree. And every bad decision that y'all make like this, especially when you kiss the ring of Christian nationalism or fascism, and then that person came out, you can't protect it, they said they did it in 30 minutes. So what message are you sending to the entire student body that says that they can play victim whenever they get called out for spending 30 minutes on a paper? Education is elevation, and man, University of Oklahoma, boy, y'all wild. So many L's.
I feel like bending over for the board of directors at TikTok themselves while spreading both cheeks with both hands for no more than a McDouble, honestly, makes more sense than having had pressed agree. But here we are. And since most people didn't opt out of the new ad policy when that screen was up, what you want to do is go to your profile, click the 3 lines at the top of the screen, click settings and privacy, scroll down, click ads. Then you'll see targeted ads outside of TikTok, You can turn it off there. Aside from that, I know we're supposed to. I can't pretend to give a fuck about the cell. Like, are we cooked? Yes. But if you've been paying attention, it's been that way for a very long time. Every single major app is owned by a MAGA billionaire now. There's nothing that they can collect here that they can't collect somewhere else, right? It's just a lot more accessible. Though you can download other apps, and you should. There's an app called Upscrolled that I believe a lot of people are flocking to. You should do that. I'm not gonna delete this one. They're not getting anything here that they couldn't already gobble up from Palantir. And not to downplay the severity of what just happened. What's being collected from us from a single app is crazy. Please read the terms and conditions. I'll tag one of my mutuals, Sean, below. By the time I post this, they should have already made some sort of like video completely breaking down the terms and conditions. But I guess I've just made peace with the sinking ship that is this country. No one wants to do what needs to be done to secure everyone's safety. No one wants to read. No one wants to organize. No one wants to get radicalized. So it's like, just like, let me have my little pleasures. Let me make a little skit and doom scroll, you know? The Democratic Party was trying to get rid of the app completely. The Republican Party wants to see if they can weaponize it. I'd much rather engage in the back and forth of trying to keep this app in the hands of the people than to completely lose altogether what is genuinely our most powerful information tool for left-wing thought. What's the point of being on a sinking ship if you can't scream? Like, let them ruin the app and the algorithm before you leave. That's the whole reason this is powerful in the first place. But that's not what they want to do. Don't let them take this from you the way that they take everything else. At least that's my thought process. Full disclosure, I will spread cheeks if they just bring back the old RPMs. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, did you swallow it? Whoa. Happy Valentine's Day. Pick it up, but don't spit it out on the plate like that. Pick it up so you can see how I look. Oh my God. Flex, now how you gonna get that from the bottom of that water? Now you just doing the most. No, you doing the most for putting it in. I put it in the ice cream. So you doing the most for put. Take it out the water. Oh my God, my hand. Let's take it out the water. Oh my God. Oh, Flex, don't do the most of the people restaurant. Oh my God. Oh, Flex, I gotta go do it. I'm about to act up. Don't do the most of the people restaurant. Oh. All this set up for you. Oh my God. Turn around. Everything set up for you, Flex. Turn around. Ooh, God. Flex, turn around. I'm still shaking, but give me time. Well, I'm out here shaking too. It's cold. God. Flex, come on, turn around if I hit you in the head with the phone. Ooh, God. Oh, Flex, not Flex. Flex. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, God. So many people use your name in vain. Love, those who have faith in you sometimes go Flex, calm down. Love, oh, my God. Better or worse, I still will choose you first. Love. Now show them the ring, Flex. Show them the ring. Oh! Hold on. Flex. You was in on all this. Flex, show the ring. Show the ring so people can see the ring.
Bitch, you better not pull my wig. I'll pull that
Girl, save me my Funny Valentine before you go back in. You know about my Funny Valentine.
It's something about you, girl, that just makes my head wanna twirl. You got me wanting to tell them other girls that there's nothing better in this world. The moment I seen her, I wasn't shy. So shocked you would have thought I've just been shot. Shot down right in the spot. But too bad this doesn't happen a lot. Oh, girl, you got me thinking that I had inside. She said she wanna make it slow. I'm not that type of guy. I'll let you know when I see that red light. All I know is go. So baby girl, let's do this on the floor. You draw me out my mind. That I'm digging you in the spine. Your mind. Yeah, that's what's going on this time.
I decorated these like mini Christmas trees I got from Home Goods. Look.
Ooh.
Okay, I like that.
That ain't real festive.
Oh, and then they have this like tiny reindeer set that I put around the apartment. Oh,
That's
so
adorable.
cute.
Mhm.
Okay, so we got games. I already ordered the food.
And we're still doing the white elephant this year, right?
No, we already talked about this. Yeah, we're not exchanging gifts this year.
Oh, why not?
Because I am broke.
Okay, you're dragging it. You're dragging it.
Ooh, babe, I'm so broke. I don't remember the last time I bought paper towels. Them mugs be $100 for a pack of 4.
Okay.
Okay. Just last week I had to cut open my toothpaste tube just to scrape the last 3 molecules out of that mug. Okay, y'all are getting hugs and macaroni art projects from me. Okay. Matter of fact, I know I got some construction paper around here somewhere.
Construction paper for what?
I'ma paint my hand white, press it up against that mug, and call that bitch a snowflake.
Girl.
Merry Christmas.
Please.
That's my gift to y'all this year. And you know what? Since I'm hosting, my gift will be my apartment. Okay, it's a communal space. Okay, well, either way, I got y'all all gifts, so it don't even matter in the first place.
Here you go, y'all.
You want to show us up so bad.
Like,
what do you mean? What, so we just show up empty-handed? Meanwhile, you got boxes of Rolexes for us? Well, they never gave Rolexes. Okay, y'all are special, but y'all not that special. Okay? I did like a $40 cap on each gift. Okay, but y'all know I just love giving gifts. Like,
right.
I really don't care. I know I ate my gifts up because I know y'all. You know what I mean? I eat every time.
And
Okay.
Thank you.
Eric, put the onesie down. Put the onesie down. What's the problem? I can't wear the onesie for the party tonight. I want you to look at how all of us is dressed, and you tell me why that was a dumbass question. Okay, fine. I'll wear something else. You want to show your titties so bad. Look, I can already tell you I'm about to get on my ass, so I'm going to get off this phone. But I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, remember, the party starts at 6 p.m., not 6:39, not 6:58, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard.
On the dot.
Okay? Okay, I'm not going to be late. Y'all worried about the wrong stuff, okay? All right, girl, don't piss me off.
No, for real.
All right, bye, girl.
We'll talk to you later.
You know you're not coming till 7:30, right? I know, and that's why the party don't start until 8 o'clock. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And I like to be around black people that are pro-black. That's on the homegirls lace front on my kids. I don't want to hear.
And I'm talking about pro-black everything. Y'all want to sneak in some white people politics into our culture just because it suits you. No, I'm talking about pro-black everything. I mean pro-gay black. I mean pro-trans black. I mean pro-black woman. I mean pro-black everything. Black neurodivergent of any kind, whether or not y'all buy with them, must want to believe it. I'm talking about black ADHD, black autism, black depressed, all that. I don't care whether you believe those concepts exist or not. Because here, right here, heaven on earth, black people are more important to me than y'all fictitious sky genie. I'll consider any concept that gets in the way of treating black people with respect as anti-black. You voted blue, here's a cookie. That's what you're supposed to do. But at the same time, if you're socially conservative, I do not fuck with you because conservatism at its core is anti-black. Y'all can have your little key moments with your diaspora wars with black people across the globe whenever it's time for the Olympics, but any other time, cut that shit out. It's embarrassing. Never will I ever caw for a country that ever did shit for me. Pro-black children law, if you want to scoff at gentle parenting reality, you just don't have any emotional regulation. Go get your nervous system checked. If you cannot wait to put your hands on a black body, it's the first thing you think of in the morning. I'm pro-black men in the sense that I believe that black boys get to experience joy and express themselves without the patriarchy getting involved. Because guess what? The patriarchy is anti-black. Because black men get an entirely different definition of masculinity than white men. White men can hop around the corner and be like, shabba-labba-doobie, and everyone's gonna bust out laughing. Meanwhile, black men growing up were allowed to have 3 personality traits or else they weren't black. I'm so pro-black that I think that black men can do a little bit more than either music or sports. Not that there anything wrong with those hobbies, if those are actually your hobbies, if you actually like them. And even though I don't run with black conservatives, you all deserve rights, safety, and freedom. Pro-black in a sense where I can point out the black people who are starting to become native and be like, I ain't fucking with it because it's anti-black at heart. A lot of you are pro-black with loopholes. A lot of you ain't pro-black, you just pro-you. I'm so pro-black, I feel uncomfortable around a black person who spews out white values on some real nigga type shit.
My mom called me in her forbidden chambers, aka her bedroom, to go ahead and get her ginger ale from the store. I said, all right, bet. Went downstairs and called my brother because he was already at the store. I said, yo, can you grab mommy a ginger ale while you out? He retorts. He says, no, I can't. Then she just asked you to get her a ginger ale? That's why you're calling me, isn't? I reply. I said, yeah, but you're already at the store. I can just Apple Pay you the money. You can grab it while you're out. He says back upon to me, fuck, I look like doing some shit for you. It ain't like I owe you nothing. Why can't you get your ass up, acting like you don't got a car, and go across the street and go get her a ginger ale? And it's times like this where I can't wait to pull up even the smallest quarter ounce of dirt that somebody has thrown onto me. If you did me bad one time, you did me bad for a lifetime. I acknowledge his bold, vindictive, bitch-ass statement, and I say, you know what, big bro? You right. I don't owe you nothing. But you owe me your fucking life. Let's not forget, we was inside that Dollar Tree. I was 8 years old. We was walking up and down the aisles of them Dollar Trees. You told me to keep my eyes forward and stay still as you stuck oatmeal raisin cookies, Chips Ahoy, and double stacked fucking Oreos in my book bag. Told me to walk out that dollar store like nothing was going to happen, and them cops stopped me. They told me to freeze and put my hands up. I start clapping. I start thinking they singing the cookout song. They said freeze. I said back, everybody clap your hands. I start clapping. I thought a game was being played. I could have went to jail. And guess what you did? You ran out the back door like a bitch. So yes, Big Brother, I don't owe you anything. But just keep in mind what you owe me. Hung up the phone. Sat here at my desk. Ate my little dinner. And you bet your ass he came home with a 2-liter of motherfucking Canada Dry.
I just cried in the arms of some grown-ass English man. I don't know who he was. His kid was playing at a little birthday celebration inside the house and a balloon popped. And I froze and I fell in the middle of the street because in my head, it's a gunshot. Everywhere I go, I'm expecting there to be gunshots. So I fall outside. He runs outside because he's thinking I'm having a medical episode. And I completely zoned out and I freaked out. My adrenaline's on like 10 right now. And he comes out and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I just started crying and he came up. He's sitting in the damn dirt with me in the middle of a road and he's holding me. He's like, "Are you okay? Do you need medical help?" I was like, "No, I'm just scared. I thought I got shot." And what's even crazier is I'm not in the country right now. So all of the news that I'm seeing about what's going on back home is like so much more graphic and uncensored. And I'm seeing physical video angles of stories, the likes of which I've never fucking seen. And this man is holding me while I'm fucking crying. He was just like, "You know you're safe here." I'm like, "I don't know that. There's no reason I should be crying and having a fucking panic attack because a balloon popped from somebody's birthday party, let alone strong enough to yell loud enough for him to come out of his house." His wife comes out with a glass of water for me to drink and she's literally sitting in her fucking sweatpants. And I'm so fucking on edge all the time. It was like one of those moments where I didn't realize like how crazy it is and how traumatized we are, especially as Black folks, to just be ready to hit the deck at any given moment, like constantly assessing what we're wearing, what neighborhood we're in, how we're walking, what music we're listening to, is it too loud, how we're talking, like all of this other shit. On top of that, I'm already crying like all morning because I'm seeing all these videos of Alex Preddy getting blasted. All these fucking white people coming in my inbox and all these other Black critics like, "Well, what's your view on what's going on?" What the fuck do you think our view is on what's going on? This ain't no new country, bitch. This is the same shit that has been going on forever, but you now care because now bitches that look like you are getting killed. You didn't give a fuck when I was trying to talk about Sandra Bland or Trayvon Martin or Laquan McDonald or Breonna Taylor. You didn't give a fuck about none of that shit, but now you want to come to us and drag us out of our house because you don't know what to fucking do because you've never listened because it didn't happen to shit that looked like you.
Listen, I understand that what I did was not right for this time period, because back then,
you are fat, disgusting, dirty, and trash. No one is gonna want to hire a fatty.
Do you remember that whole scene? No.
Jocelyn, for you to be sick and tired and you still showed up to the photo shoot, that is a survivor.
Oh, this my part.
And you'll be able to survive getting eliminated.
Gag. Listen, I put everybody on. Would you like to comment on the fact that a lot of the girls said they couldn't find work because of you? Okay, we'll move on. Nigel Barker, Jay Manuel, and Miss J all said that you have not reached out to them at all. That's a lie, because I definitely did. Sending funny TikTok videos doesn't count, like actual communication. It was really all of the fans' fault. They were demanding it. Most of the fans were 5 years old. Okay, but it was still their fault. Why did you make the girls do a photo shoot on top of Mount Everest? Because I wanted to. Why did you force the girls to dress up as different races? There you go, bringing up old drama. Are you willing to take accountability? Hold on, let me see if it's in my purse. Let me see if I can find accountability. You have also been accused of mistreating Black women and making them feel... Okay, can somebody stop giving her tape? Who keeps giving it to her? Is it possible to get the word accountability in a sentence? You found it yet? I'm still looking. Why did you make that girl shave her eyebrows off and then send her home in the same episode? I just didn't like how her eyebrows looked. But you were the one who made her get that makeover. Yeah, but I kind of changed my mind.
America doesn't want to see large, Facts.
Yeah, so there's this thing that's called editing. It's been around for decades. Like, you can't prove that I actually said that.
Do you think it was okay to call that woman fat when she was a size 0?
Listen, those were the times back then.
So if you wanted to enter the competition at your current size right now,
Whoa,
would you?
not too much.
Now let's talk about the makeover from Cycle 5.
Oh yeah, she had long, luscious hair. It was so pretty.
Then why did you cut her hair off?
Okay, so I think I left my accountability in the car. Listen, I thank everybody for holding me accountable. But y'all didn't have to watch the show. Y'all could have just turned off the TV, but y'all didn't, so it's kind of your fault. Y'all were the ones that had the remote in y'all hands.
So are you going to apologize for everything?
Will I or will I not? Find out on the next season of America's Next Top Model Cycle 25, because baby, we going back.
A Jordan Peele movie is gonna make a white person not want to be white no more. A Ryan Coogler movie gonna make a white person want to be black. Now see... So go ahead, grab you a seat. This is gonna be a lecture and you know how we get down. My name is Jaden Clark, a senior here at Stanford University in a dual degree in mathematics and comparative studies and race and ethnicities, and this is my CSRE capstone project.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Okay, so everybody loves a good horror movie, right? That feeling when your heart jumps, the lights cut off, and for a second, you don't even know if you're safe anymore. For a long time, the horror genre focused on one essential idea, which is that fear comes from the outside. Something supernatural invades a world that was perfectly fine just 5 minutes ago. Think The Exorcist, The Conjuring, Insidious, movies where demons, ghosts, curses, and possessions break into a peaceful life, and that's what makes it terrifying. And horror mastered that formula. You can think about all these different things. The eerie silence before a scream, the slow creak of a door, or even that jump scare that you honestly probably knew was coming, but you still weren't ready for it regardless. But here's the limitation. Traditional horror imagines fear as an interruption. It assumes the world is safe until something evil happens. That assumption only works if your world was safe to begin with. And for black people, the horror was never waiting behind a door. The horror is the door. It is the system, right? It is the world. Black people live in a society where the jump scare isn't a monster in the closet. It's a moment the police car turns onto your street. It's the doctor not believing in your pain. It's the school counselor redirecting you away from your AP classes. And it's walking into a store and feeling every set of eyes on you like a tracking device. And that's what people are failing to realize. We didn't need Hollywood to imagine horror for us. We're already living in the genre. And that's where black filmmakers flipped the script. They took horror away from the supernatural and turned the camera towards our own social reality. Horror stopped being about monsters chasing people, and now it's about systems chasing people. Both Peele and Coogler are asking the same question. What does it mean to move through a world where your very existence is shaped by systems that decide your vulnerability? But the way that they answer that question, very different, in my opinion. Peele, on one hand, traps his characters in tight, suffocating spaces where the horror is subtle and psychological. The suburbs, right? The lab, the mirror, or the living room. That's what Peele is doing. Coogler will build entire worlds where the horror comes more from history, right? This could come from Jim Crow afterlives, right? From the memory of violence that refuses to stay buried, and from the complicated futures of black sovereignty. Basically, think about it like this. Peele is saying, look at the horror that already surrounds us. Coogler is like, look at what we built in spite of it, and look how the world still tries to take it.
There wouldn't be a Jackie Hill Perry without a Donnie McClurkin. There wouldn't be a Raven Hartwell without a Donnie McClurkin. Raven Hartwell who'll be playing on y'all Wi-Fi, playing on y'all internet as if her coochie don't spasm every time a bad bitch with a middle part bust down in Lululemon walk by. And that is why I'm finding it really hard to offer a measured perspective around this whole Donnie McClurkin situation, because he gave rise to, he gave legitimacy to an ideology, a rhetoric that is still harming young gay black men, young queer folk across the country still to this day. It is an ideology, a rhetoric that the church has adopted and hold around this idea that your sexuality or sexual orientation has something to do with maybe having been sexually abused as a kid. And this is an idea, this is language that I was personally victimized by as a kid. When I was vulnerable enough to share that I was sexually abused, when I was vulnerable enough to share that I was gay as a kid with family friends, I was met with, well, oh, this makes sense. Because you were sexually abused, because you were molested, you are therefore gay. And imagine being a young black gay boy who's not only having to navigate his sexuality, the language around it, but also navigate this new idea that you being gay makes you inherently some sexual deviant. And there is a possibility that because so, you may contribute or enact that same harm that was visited upon you on somebody else. And I think that's just a wicked thing to have to internalize. It's crazy. And I think it's an even more wicked thing for you as a non-gay person, you as a non-queer person, you as an adult, to say that to a child who has to deal with all these things in the world, not just being black, not just being gay, but also just being a kid who's different, who's weird, who doesn't have language for these things, for you to say that to them and leave it for them to internalize. And so for Donnie McClurkin, who at the time, I think it was the early 2000s, being one of the top selling artists in gospel, being a prominent figure in ministry, in gospel music, for him to mainstream that talking point and it be his testimony, him building a career off of it, him making that his whole shtick, which is partly the reason why I believe he went this long without fully being himself, without fully accepting that he was a gay man, because it made him so much money. It's what he built his platform on. Him doing that at that time cemented this idea, this language that has furthered so much harm against young black gay men who grow up in Christian religious spaces. And it's at this point where it's unforgivable. And I would go as far as to say, like, he is a religious extremist. And that might sound exaggerative, that might sound hyperbolic, but I can justify it. When your testimony, when your language, when your experience becomes something that a gay conversion therapy organization can use to justify their harm against so many young gay men, that is a problem. You are contributing to actual harm. When your language, your ideology becomes legislation, you are contributing to harm. And so I can hold the nuance that I'm sure it was really difficult for him to navigate an anti-gay, anti-queer world, especially being black, and especially even more so growing up in black religious spaces. I'm sure it was hard for him to exist fully as himself without feeling like he would have been penalized or he wouldn't have been able to be successful or have the career that he did. But beyond that acknowledgement, you made a career off lying. And ultimately, it was that lying, it was that deceit, and it was that abuse of power that led to where you're at now. And I don't know if I necessarily feel sorry about that. I don't feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for the victim. So many of us dealt with our shame and our ignorance in silence. We denied ourselves of meaningful relationships early on. We sat in the congregation as these preachers, these pastors, preached nothing but violence, ignorance, homophobia, dehumanized us, demeaned us, demoralized us without even knowing we were gay and in the audience. We cried in our rooms at night in silence. And you might have done all the same things, but you took it a step further. You made this your career. You made this your platform. You spoke about it at every public engagement. You made it your ministry. You made it your testimony. And ultimately, when you went on to make your money and you went on to further your celebrity, it was young gay black boys like me that had to deal with the fallout. Being forced to stomach and navigate ignorant ass conversations with family, ignorant ass conversations with friends, bird brain cisheads who haven't a clue of what we've had to navigate as queer folk. So I don't know, as tragic as this has been to watch, and I really do feel sad for you, I feel even more sad for your victim and the many victims who grew up having to navigate and deal with the bullshit you espoused. I don't know, man, like, this is crazy. This is nuts. Macadamia, to find out you was sucking peeing in the pews like the rest of us, like...
During Black History Month, we remember that some of our history is still moving, still breathing, still voguing. Today, we honor one of the people who shaped ballroom culture. Ballroom culture is one of our living black archives, and today we honor a voice that carried ballroom from the floor to the world. This is icon Kevin Jay-Z.
I'm Kevin, how y'all doing? Y'all know what it is. Vogue fan, commentator, hand, artist, you know I can be more.
In 1997, in the city of Philadelphia, Kevin discovered the ballroom scene when friends took him to a club. He then learned how to vogue and joined the House of Movado. He started making music and commentating at balls in the early 2000s. Kevin established himself and garnered the attention of the ballroom community when he walked commentator versus commentator at the Prodigy Murder by Numbers Ball in 2005.
Sweet
course, I'm not a doctor, so without definitive proof, I can't say this, but to me, Kevin shows the expressions of a musical savant. Like, I see like this high-functioning expression of autism where, like, I actually believe that Kevin is a musical genius. Icon Kevin Jay-Z is not just a commentator or an MC, he is a cultural translator. He took the language of ballroom, our chants, our timing, our urgency, and he made the world listen. Through his work with Madonna, Beyonce, and Rihanna, Kevin brought ballroom culture into global pop consciousness without stripping it of its soul. Because when ballroom speaks on the world stage, it matters who is holding the microphone. Today we honor Kevin Jay-Z Prodigy, a voice of ballroom, a keeper of our rhythm, and a living piece of black history. Follow me. We talk like this all the time.
In this picture, the Ku Klux Klan was the good boy who saved the South. Most Hollywood films, though, even the early ones, weren't really nasty. Nobody was sitting around saying, hey, let's take care of the niggers. What producers were doing was making money. And to make money, they made pictures that white ticket buyers would enjoy. They showed Negroes the way most Americans like to think of them. To blame Hollywood is like throwing a rock at the mirror because you don't like what you see in it. Burt Williams was one of the great vaudeville performers. He couldn't get parts in white pictures, so he made a lot of short comedies. He played the part most Americans consider typical Negro. He wasn't bad, really, just lazy, stupid, and happy the way he was. And his feet hurt. He was afraid of most everything. And when he was scared, he shook and his teeth chattered. Unlike a scared white man, the black man's eyes could pop out of his head. And when he was scared, he was so scared he couldn't talk. And he was also so scared he couldn't run. Black women, on the other hand, were steady and imperturbable. They stood like a rock on the face of things that scared black men. Another strange physical characteristic was when they were really very scared, the guys turned white. When you look back on these old films, the patterns come jumping out at you. The most consistent thing about them was the attack on the black man. He was never even given the privilege of being a man. He was a boy, as in, you know, here, boy. They had a lot of other great qualities besides being cowardly. For instance, they stole chickens.
Who's in there? Who's in there? Ain't nobody in there but us chickens.
They shot craps.
Dice, your partner talking to you now, Dice. Come on. Just hit it one more time.
And lions weren't the only thing they were afraid of either. They were afraid of gorillas.
Wallace Rose, is that you next to me? Wonderful.
My colleagues and I sat in the Oval Office with President Trump just hours after a 37-year-old woman had been shot and killed by a federal agent. As soon as we started to ask the president about this deadly shooting in Minneapolis, he at first acknowledged the tragedy of it all.
With all of it being said, no, I don't like that happening.
But then almost immediately he blamed the victim in this shooting.
She behaved horribly, and then she ran him over.
This echoes what we've heard from DHS and other federal officials. I noted that that's disputed by local officials. The president responded by saying,
well, I'd play the tape for you right now. Do you want to just whip it out?
It really didn't take long then for a staffer to come over to the president's side right behind the Resolute desk and actually hold up a laptop for myself and my colleagues, playing a video of the incident. And as the video was playing, my colleague David Sanger actually said out loud,
Does not look like the ICE officer has been run over there.
the president continued to watch the video and, took a little bit of a softer tone.
It's a terrible scene.
He acknowledged that it was a tragedy, but once again blamed the victim of this.
The one woman in the car before she got shot, I heard, was unbelievably badly behaved.
It was a remarkable moment where you have the president of the United States asserting that somebody was at fault in this incident, just as federal officials are calling for the public to refrain from making conclusions until an investigation is completed.
Let the investigation play out and hold people accountable based on the investigation.
This whole moment just showed the president's reflexive defensiveness over a federal crackdown that has at times turned violent, and in this case also impacted an American citizen as well.
Oh, it definitely went downhill after the third season, though.
You think so?
Y'all,
I feel
oh, I'm so hot, bro. This job. Do you understand
What
me?
happened?
Every time some shit go wrong, they want to blame me like I'm not the main bitch keeping that motherfucker afloat.
What they do this time?
Oh, I'm so hot. Oh, I'm so hot.
Isaiah, breathe. Breathe. Inhale. Find it. Exhale. What happened? What's the issue?
So y'all know how I had to close last night, right?
Yeah.
And then open again this morning, okay? I got 4 hours of sleep, mind you. I pull up to the job, it's already some bullshit, because apparently the freezer broke overnight. So when I get there, everything's melted, okay? I open the store, line out the door, wrapped around the building twice. Why are there only 2 motherfuckers scheduled to work this morning? Me and some girl they hired last week. Mind you, on Tuesday, I told Josh, I said, hey, you know it's a holiday weekend coming up, right? You should probably have more than me and some girl that's only picked up a beauty blender before. Opening during a holiday weekend. He said, oh no, I trust you. And you guys started. I don't give a damn.
His unreliable ass.
I'm damn near in this bitch by myself. Cleaning dishes, doing somersaults, trying to salvage ingredients to throw anything together, okay?
Wait, so where was Josh in all this? Where was he at?
I don't know, probably somewhere being a predator, making some 17-year-old girl feel uncomfortable. Nowhere to be found, long story short, okay? Now, in the midst of the whole building falling apart and I'm having to solo this bitch, the website shuts down. Jesus!
You're
The
lying.
website shuts down. And you know how people get about their online orders. They can place those orders months in advance, and we're not going to get them until the day before they're due.
Right.
And when does the website decide to shut down?
The day before.
The day before a holiday. Okay? And what happens when anybody is even slightly inconvenienced in a public establishment? They blame the employees that have nothing to do with it.
Every time. Clock it.
Okay? Phone ringing off the chain. People cussing me out like I'm some evil villain. I hacked into the mainframe. I bypassed the firewall like I'm canceling orders on purpose. Ooh! And there was this one dude that was popping it, saying shit like, oh, when I'm done with you, you're not going to be able to work there anymore. I work for Google. They're going to be hearing from me. Ooh! Give me a reason to use Bing, Yahoo, or Hotmail. What are we talking about right now? Mind you, the whole time I'm being so respectful. I said, you know, I understand. This is a major inconvenience. Cuts me off mid-sentence. See, this is the problem with you people. I don't even understand.
People?
Oh, I lost it. I said, either pull the fuck up or get off the phone.
Isaiah.
Okay, I got a line out the door. I promise you we can get it on and pop on the moment you step foot on these premises. Then here come Predator Josh, walking around the corner, tapping me on the shoulder, talking about, hey, I can tell you're antagonizing the customers. This is a hostile environment. Maybe you should go home. Oh, don't even worry about it. Because I don't come back.
Right.
Okay? You don't have to worry about me anymore. And I left. And that's where we are right now.
Yo.
Now he was trying to talk to you like you was the problem. Is he crazy?
You should have put your foot up, him and Josh's ass.
No, call the
You
health
understand
department
me?
and say they got roasted.
I'm not playing with y'all.
That's what you need to do. Okay, you ain't never lied.
We're not angry enough. We're not angry enough. We're underreacting. We're underreacting. No, white people are underreacting. White people aren't angry enough. Ain't shit gonna change until white people step up. Obviously, what happened to Renee Good was absolutely horrendous and it should not have happened. But what happened to Renee Good has been happening to black people for decades now. Government-sanctioned agencies have been unaliving people who look like me for decades now, just for existing. This is nothing new to us. And obviously, it's fuck ICE all day, every day. and twice on Sunday. But Renee Good isn't even their first victim. Those psychotic motherfuckers have unalived over 20 plus people just in the past 6 months. And the thing is, black people knew this was gonna happen. We tried to warn y'all that this was gonna happen. We've seen this movie before, but y'all didn't listen. Because y'all were too busy arguing over which politicians were taking AIPAC money. And you trying to tell me that all of a sudden a bunch of white liberals are getting on the internet saying that they're afraid to fight back? Because they fear for their lives? Come on, y'all. Be for real. Y'all are waiting for us to do it. Because you've grown accustomed to black and brown bodies being your sacrificial lambs. We're not doing that anymore. It's gonna have to be y'all.
Nervous system healing actually works, which sounds really funny coming out of my mouth because it feels like duh, but I was getting really frustrated at the videos that would be like, you need to regulate your nervous system, you need to regulate your nervous system, and then they never said how. They never gave concrete tips, or if they did, it was behind a paywall and you had to do some course to figure that out. So I'm just gonna show you what finally worked for me, because it changed the course of my day yesterday in like a complete 180. Yesterday I didn't realize at the time, but I was in full nervous system shutdown. I had no belief in myself. I saw no point in dreaming. It was getting very, very doom and gloom, which is not who I am. Like I lean toward optimism always. The thing for me was mindset shifts, doing all of the like all of the mental things that I am used to doing were not working. And for a good part of the day, I was just taking that as, well, then this is just reality. Again, just feeding the darkness, feeding the gloom and the doom of it all. And I finally was like, okay, you know what? Let's try the nervous system thing, because all of my usual tools are not working. And I am not someone that gets this gloomy anymore, since I have found my way out of depression through a lot of other tools. So I did some searching online and just made a list. And I was like, I'm gonna try every single one. And if they don't work, then they don't work. But let's just try all of them and see what happens. The one that worked the best was the armpit hug. They said, hug under your right armpit, hug here, and then hug here and hold. And anytime that you see nervous system techniques, they're gonna tell you to do it until you yawn, till you take a deep breath. Like there's triggers for your body to show you that you're moving into a more restful state. For me, what happened was I started bawling my eyes out. I started crying, not even like 30 seconds into this, streaming out of my face, it was like uncontrollable sobbing, which for me shows me that is what was building up in my system that I had not let out, or my body was not even letting out, because it didn't feel safe to have that emotion. That hug alone was enough for my body to go, okay, we're safe enough to feel this, and then felt it. I continued to do some more just to continue the practice. It's not binaural, I don't remember, but this bilateral maybe taps here, you want to tap on both shoulders. That works great for me. This is something I can do in public pretty easily. I've used that one before. It did not have the same effect as this one did yesterday. I'm telling you, I was blown away by how quickly I released with this. Another one is pulling on the earlobes for a minute on each side, again until you yawn. Another easy one to do in public if you're feeling overstimulated or panicky. Another one they showed me yesterday was the octopus, where you put a hand down here on your stomach and you move your fingers like a little octopus, and then you put one over your heart up here and you move like a little octopus. And you do this. This, for some reason, even right now, like makes me want to melt. I don't know what that feeling is. This feels so nice. Oh my God. This feels so nice. That one works really well too. There's hundreds out there. Go through it and find the one that works. If you're like me and you try one thing and it doesn't work and you want to just say, screw it, I get you. I get it. I get frustrated very easily sometimes, especially when I'm in that nervous system shutdown. It's like, screw it all, my guy. Like, let's just throw it all out the window. But this one really works. Like, I did this in the shower this morning just to like establish safety for the day, because clearly I found the thing that like my body needed. So I hope that helps. It really does work.
The moment this song was released, we all loved it until she ruined it. You know Jess, she basically made your childhood. She even created the Jet 2 holiday meme. She made so many hit songs, but no one knows her, but there's a reason for that. You know this song, Rather Be. This is what they're talking about when they say 2016 vibes. It made us all feel good. The drive to school with this playing in your headphones made it not so bad. Until she ruined it. See, she made another song the following year after Rather Be called Hold My Hand. And that's the one they made the Jet 2 holiday meme about. And that song blew up too. So they invite her in on interview to talk about all her success, winning Grammys, everything. And she decides to tell a story about how she took her friend, a straight transphobic man, to a queer strip club as a prank and referred to everyone in the club as the T-slur and that the trans women are just men in wigs, and she started making jokes about them. And you can probably see why after this came out, everyone was calling her out left and right. Calling her out, saying she was disrespecting an entire community. She came out and basically said, look everyone, I didn't know it was that deep. Y'all know I'm immersed in the community, but I'm wholeheartedly sorry and what I said was wrong. But that didn't work. She was still getting called out because it didn't sound sincere at all and didn't acknowledge how she hurt a whole community. It got so bad that she started receiving threats and having her shows canceled because of this. And she chose to step away from social media as a whole because she said it affected her mental health. After a while, she comes back and apologizes again on interview and says she's educated and ready to turn a new leaf. But everyone just kind of forgot about her. That's when the Jet 2 holiday meme starts to blow up, but she hated it because people were using her song for some crazy videos. Like the White House social media page used her song in a meme about immigrant deportations. She came out and said the people who used her song in those despicable videos are sick. And I guess she's forgiven now, but people really never forgot.
Pop quiz, who is this? Adolf Hitler, good. Pop quiz, who is this? You don't know, do you? The average American can tell you who Adolf Hitler is, but they can't tell you who King Leopold II of Belgium is. And I think that that is an indictment on the American educational system. We're always taught about the Holocaust, how Adolf Hitler oversaw the extermination of over 10 million people, as we should. We should be taught about that. But why aren't we taught about a genocide that this man oversaw 30 years before the Holocaust? In 1884, European powers split Africa. They partitioned it. They basically said, hey, I want this country because it has that resource. King Leopold wanted the Congo, and he created the Congo Free State and oversaw the Congo Free State from 1885 to 1908. This was during the period of a rubber boom worldwide. People needed rubber for cars. People needed rubber for bikes. And guess where you can find a lot of rubber? The Congo. So King Leopold utilized secret police to basically enslave the people of the Congo to extracting rubber. And if they missed a quota, they would get their hands cut off. He said, for every bullet you use, I need a hand in return. In those 20 or so years, historians estimate that he killed over 15 million Congolese people. Not only did he kill this many people, they also estimate that the population of the Congo shrunk from 20 million to 10 million people. The reason I think it's so problematic that we have this massive gap in our education system is that it seems that when it's Black people or people of color that are being genocided, it doesn't matter. You would think that King Leopold lived in the 1500s. But no, him and Hitler were alive at the same time. His rule over the Congo ended in 1908 and he died in 1909. The Holocaust starts like 30 years later. What King Leopold did in the Congo be traced directly to the Democratic Republic of Congo's instability to this day. It set the course and set the precedent for the exploitation of Africa's resources that we're still seen to this day. I think this is going to be a part of a new series called Open the Schools Again, because we need to all go back to school. There are gaps that need to be filled.
Bitch, is that my jacket you got on? See, and I knew you. Girl, no. We just got the same one in the exact same color from the same brand. But he lied. Cam's back from his date, so we got to talk about that. How was your date, Cam?
Ass. Zay, you're fired. I'm so sorry. I don't want you setting me up with no more friends of a friend. I think that was the worst date I've ever been on.
Wait, what? But he was your type down, fashionable,
yeah,
artsy.
fashionable, okay? But that man came in just like
Ashley Tisdale from the High School Musical premiere.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a feeling it wasn't gonna work though, if I'm being real. How? Because the moment you told us he was a Taurus, I knew something was up. Okay, I would rather gouge both of my eyes out with a spork than date a Taurus man.
Well, no, you got it right. Because when I tell you that date was so bad.
Okay, but like, what happened? Like, what made it bad?
Okay, so before we even meet up, he's texting me and he was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about the restaurant. I'm about to put you on. This is my spot. I know the people that work there."
You love that. Okay.
Y'all know how I get down. If I can just kick my feet up and look cute, oh, I'm gonna go for it.
Exactly.
Okay? We get there. Why is it IHOP?
Not IHOP.
The International House of Pancakes.
You can't trust niggas for shit.
I'm just trying to act like this big spender. Oh yeah, get whatever you want. The meal's on me. I got you covered.
I would hope so. This ain't Nobu, babe. It's gonna be $26 total.
Exactly. But I said, you know what? Let me not pass judgment. Okay, he was still so cute. And I was like, honestly, maybe he's balling on a budget. Like, we're here. The date can still go well.
Right.
So we're making small talk. And eventually I tell him, like, yeah, like, I love working with kids. I'm in school to be a pediatrician. And he was like, oh, I didn't know you have to go to school for that. I was like, yeah, it's a pretty long process. And he was like, oh, so like, what do they teach you? Like how to pull like rabbits out of a hat or something?
You're lying.
No.
Oh, babe.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that. What's happening?
Now, mind you, I'm thinking he's joking at first, so I just laugh it off. But then he was like, no, because I've always wanted to learn that one trick where you pull like the quarter out of the ear, and that's I think you're thinking of a magician. I'm just going to be a pediatrician. Okay, right.
Come on, Patrick Star. Something's not
So
clicking.
I just speed past that because I don't know what the fuck that was. And then he asked about you, Zay. He was like, oh, so how do you know Zaire? And I was like, oh, like, you know, we damn near grew up together, shared an umbilical cord at one point.
Thank you.
And he was like, oh, well, just know, like, if you want to be with me, like, that relationship has to be clipped. Like, you can't be friends with any gay guys, honestly.
I'm sorry.
Good
thing I don't want to be with you. I don't know you from a can
of
paint. What are you talking about?
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Okay? And he was like, yeah, because if I had friends that looked like that, well, I would have been tried to crack. So I know you had to at some point. But that's
You're snitching on yourself.
Just because you're a hooker doesn't mean that I am.
Exactly.
Okay, I said, can we get the bill?
Yeah,
this
let's wrap this shit up.
So,
Damn.
fast forward. He goes to pay, and then he comes back like a minute later, and he was like, yeah, like, do you mind like just like slipping me a 20 because on my car? Here, take it. Get out of my face,
bro.
Please.
Didn't you say you got me?
No, that's not even a gag. The gag is, I hand him the 20, and then he looks me dead in my eyes, and he says, you know what? I knew you were one of the good ones.
I hate it.
Oh, please.
I hate it.
Get out of here. I've never tried to come in again in my life.
Yeah, don't.
It's come to my attention that people who don't live in Minnesota don't even know like the extent of like what's going on here. So to start off, schools are closed. They're having little kids do online learning or just have the option to not go to school at all if they're like a person of color. Not even just St. Paul and Minneapolis, like literally everywhere, even cities that are hours away from the Twin Cities. The Proud Boys, I'm pretty sure, was here yesterday. There was an area of Minneapolis blocked off by the actual military. Every other person that I know, like not just like a friend or family or whatever, like relatively, like every other neighbor, every other person I went to school with, they know somebody who has been detained by ICE. So these are Native Americans, these are Mexicans, these are I don't know, basically like non-white people. It's to the point where people are offering up their homes for people that can't go to their jobs. There's people who are Hispanic that will have like ICE waiting for them like when they get off work, and like they just get harassed by them every single day, so now they don't even like leave their house. There's a lot of restaurants that are just shut down. We've been having to go grocery shopping for each other. Kids literally aren't even going to school because schools are shut down.
Who is RuPaul and why is he famous?
RuPaul is a drag queen and he's famous.
A drag queen?
Isn't RuPaul a drag queen?
She is the queen of drag!
She is the queen of drag. Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Ananaya. This is Gaydar. What's the difference between being non-binary and gender fluid?
Gender fluid, it depends on the day, how you're feeling that day. Non-binary is nebulous. It's neither.
That was fierce.
Fierce is good, right?
What month is Pride celebrated in New York?
June. Well, every month in New York.
Wow.
Except for Juneteenth, that's only for gay black people.
Give me my. That was the fiercest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Good. I just don't want to be a homophobe.
Who is RuPaul and why is he famous?
RuPaul is a drag queen, and he's famous.
A drag queen?
Isn't RuPaul a drag queen?
She is the queen of
drag. She is the queen of drag. Oh, okay. RuPaul is famous because my uncles hate her, I think, or him.
Oh wow.
That's
her
why.
Or him?
Him. It's him.
Is it? I don't think she would say that about you. I think it's both.
Oh.
Is twink a slur?
I don't think so. I've been called a twink a lot. I hope it's not a slur.
Sure.
It means you're skinny and proud of who you are.
And no matter what people are saying about you, and they are saying it, you're going to be just fine. It's hard because your half-life for twink is 13 years old.
Oh, you can't be over 30 and be a twink? But I'm 35, so I was like trying to spread it
Damn!
closer to me. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I know. I don't want to get the aging on you. Yeah. It's coming. Sorry to say it. You're not going to be young forever.
If I had to guess if you were gay, straight, or a homophobe, I think you're straight.
Finally, my bullies in high school were wrong. There we go.
You know what's crazy?
I am
Mine
straight
were
after
right.
all, Trevor.
Honestly, Trevor, come on the show.
Yeah.
Defend yourself.
I'm writing an article called AI is a Slavery Fetish. It's a concept that I came up with a few weeks ago, and I'm going to read you a couple paragraphs from it now. This idea that seems to permeate throughout the branding of AI to the public is to have some kind of personal assistant that for all intents and purposes provides uncompensated labor for you, although it notably almost always comes at the significant price of privacy invasion and data collection. Most recently, a robotics company from California, 1X Technologies, is racing ahead of the competition with Neo, an in-house assistant and companion which is meant to perform remedial chores, most of which have processes that are already automated, such as cleaning dishes by putting them in the dishwasher. Of course, this comes along with the caveat that they are rushing these bots into homes to study and observe their flaws. This is not only suggested in the language on their website, but in their own advert, which concludes on the idea that their design is still entirely iterative and imperfect. The founder and CEO of 1X Technologies, Bernd Bornick, I believe his name is, even says, as we keep shaping features, it will be more and more useful in your everyday life. Now, the journey there is not going to be perfect, end quote. Companies like 1X are now willing to ship an autonomous being to your home for the lowly deposit of $200, and I believe that price can only be justified by their need for real in-home research regarding their robots. To be clear, the total price is around $20,000 USD, and they are offering payment plans. The entire idea feels from the realm of scientific dystopia, and their branding is a practice in nauseatingly minimalist luxury. Everything about it reeks of corporate colonialist whitewashing. That is to say, advertising ownership of an autonomous being as chic and enriching. Let me be clear. I am not trying to assert that the AI agents and tools of today that are being pushed to the public should be considered as having or resembling human autonomy in a way that makes us pity them for being slaves, although it seems we may arrive at those kinds of political debates soon. The point is that the entire theme and sales pitch around AI agents seems to be to replace the burden, responsibility, or ethics of being an artist, socialite, or business owner with an artificial servant. AI under capitalism, controlled by the rich for the rich, will never see its utopian usage. Furthermore, I believe it will never become the kind of unifying tool it could be for this reason. AI companionship is a slavery fetish invented by the elite, of which I no longer want any part in. Today, slavery is defined generally by the ownership of a person, but slavery once operated as an economic institution in America. The wealth of enslavers in the South, which was spread throughout the American economy via interactions with traders and buyers from the North and West, was a huge point of economic stimulus throughout the 1600s to 1800s. It is this economic institution and the wars resulting from its disintegration which exist as the foundation of our economy today. The common systems of legal slavery at the time may have been disintegrated, but the wealth and mindset accumulated from those was certainly not. With this context, remember that the first concepts of legal minimum wage in America were not introduced until 1912, and the Fair Labor Standards Act was not signed into federal law until 1938, nearly 75 years after slavery was abolished. In those 73 years, there was little to no legal recompense for not paying employees a livable compensation for their labor. And of course, plenty of impoverished Black and brown people were still performing labor for virtually nothing. Now consider how recently in time the concept of paying people fair compensation was introduced to our federal statutes. Consider in your lifetime how many times you have felt genuinely undercompensated for your labor. Since the dawn of slavery, there have remained economic superpowers which require labor from you, and that have only ever been required to offer the bare minimum in terms of livability to its laborers. The financial systems of today are a direct reflection of our country's obsession with slavery. Thus, when we have tech conglomerates motivated by profit in the modern era, we see the same incentive to cut costs in labor, yes, through the same methods. Look no further than the slavery being conducted in Sudan and Congo for the sake of mining parts for our electronics. It only stands to reason that these people's ultimate goal would be to develop technologies that could replace the paid laborer. Sorry, y'all, I stumbled a little bit through that reading it all. Trying to get through it quickly, but I'm going to post the full article soon to my collective Substack. So
Stay tuned.
So I work at the adult store. We've been over this shit. So this older lady, well, she wasn't old. She probably like middle-aged, like 50. She wasn't old. But she comes in here bright and early for her to get this at 10. Okay, listen to me. This lady comes in and she starts taking a look at our dong. I don't like the word dong. She starts willies. We'll call them willies. She starts looking at our willy wall. We have an entire big ass section for it, like just a whole wall full of them, right? So she's looking at the whole wall for about 10 minutes. I'm on my computer. I'm just doing, it's 10 a.m. I usually do price changes early in the morning. So I'm just sitting on the computer. She's looked at them for about like 10 minutes. Then she comes into my counter and she was like, this is so embarrassing, but are these the biggest ones you have? And I'm like, I start to chuckle a little bit, like, cause she's giggling with me. So like, I do good at like making sure people don't think I'm judging them. But she was like, are these like the biggest ones you have? And I kind of like lean over the counter and point to her. I'm like, if you look on the bottom row, some of them go up all the way to like 12, 13, like 12, 13 of them. So I'm like, yeah, if you look at the bottom row, like some of them go up to like 12 and 13 and those are like the biggest ones we have. She was like, I'm looking for something like a little bigger. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like I said, oh, fuck. Okay, look, this lady was cool. So like, I don't think she thought I was judging her, but I was like, oh, fuck. Like, she was such a tiny little old lady. I'm like, where the fuck you finna put all that shit? So I tell her, like, well, this whole wall is our willy wall. So, like, I was like, we don't really have another section. And then I remembered, in the back, we have, like, a miscellaneous section. We have a section of willies that, like, we call it our fun section. It's basically a section of willies that don't look like normal willies. They look like little creatures. They got like different shapes and like they just don't look like normal willies. So I was like, we have like a miscellaneous section. She was like, okay, can you take me to that? So I take her in the back to our little fun section. She goes and starts looking at them. She was like, oh, these are fucking cool. And I'm like, yeah. And then she's shuffling through, looking at them for a second. And she was like, I want that one. And y'all ain't gonna guess what she fucking grabbed. I was like, okay, you want this? I was like, this one's not even shaped like a willy. I thought you were looking for like a willy. She was like, yeah, but it's big enough. She got, and mind you, this item she got has been here the entire time I've worked here. It is the only one we have in stock. We have literally one of them because we didn't think anyone would ever fucking buy them. She got a hand. It's literally like, bro, it's literally this. It's the shape of like my fucking hand. And it looks like this. She got a 15-inch hand, bro. It's literally called the arm. Like that's what it's called. It's called the arm. And I was like, I was like, this is not even shaped like a. She was like, yeah, but it's big enough. She got a whole fucking arm. I kind of just put my hands up and was like, okay. And then I grabbed it and took it to the counter. And as I'm walking up, she's like, don't judge me. I was like, hey, no, hey, I ain't judging shit. I ain't judging shit. But I got questions. What the fuck is that little lady finna do with that?
My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime. You're just giving them more room to breathe.
I know a man who tried to suck his own dick when I see one. Which do y'all think he keeps in his mouth more? His own dick or the mention of black people unnecessarily? Which one is it? What episode do y'all leave black people alone? Asking for myself, we literally live in y'all's head rent-free, no utilities, oceanfront property. We can't even get a break during Black History Month. Which is wild because everyone loves to talk about us. But when we're like, hey, our turn, we'd like to talk about ourselves and the things that we experience, we're told to shut up and that it's not that deep. Yikes on bikes. I hate this type of comedian, and I'm using that term extremely loosely, who's actually just racist, but they try to hide it under jokes. Like, I'm gonna hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. You're not funny, and you're certainly not a comedian. You're actually just a bitch, because you can't say what you want to say with your chest. You have to hide it under the guise of dark humor. I just know your mother knows you weren't worth the fuck it took to make you. Because when has U.S. policing, which can be traced back to slave patrols, ever not negatively affected black people? Answer quickly. Your problem with ICE isn't that they're not terrorizing black people, because let's be clear, they are. Your problem with ICE is that they're not only terrorizing black people. Because when it was primarily black people who were being terrorized and killed by law enforcement and not being given room to breathe, don't think we didn't catch the fucking disgusting undertones of that statement. That was normal for y'all. That was just a regular Tuesday. That was, well, why didn't they just comply? But now that it's people that look like you or people that you deem fucking human, now all of a sudden everybody's paying attention. Mind you, had you just listened to black people when we told you how slippery the slope could be, maybe we could have avoided the avalanche that's happening now. For anyone who might be thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's America coming to? America is not coming to anything. America has arrived and thrived at this destination for forever. This is not some new America. The only thing new is your reaction to it. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom, and who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play it the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost. And what you had and what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining, and players, they only love you when they're playing. They say women, they will come and they will go. But when the rain washes you clean, you know now. Here you go again, you see your crystal visions. I keep my visions to myself. Oh, it's only me that wants to wrap around your dreams. Have you any dreams you'd like to sell? Dreams of loneliness is like a heartbeat, it drops you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost. What you had and what you lost. Whoa. And players, they only love you when they're playing. They say women, they will come and they will go. But when the rain washes you clean, you know. You will know.
Philosophy professors at Texas A&M are now being barred and banned from sharing particular excerpts from Plato with their students due to it not meeting the guidelines and criteria and expectations of the university regarding gender and race-related content. And it's not just philosophers like Plato that are being targeted, it's also targeting LGBTQ filmmakers, it's targeting feminist writers. Texas A&M is one of the many universities that ended up bowing their knees to Donald Trump, and rather than upholding academic integrity, they decided to compromise that for funding. They should have never have been put in that position in the first place, but nevertheless, that is the decision that they chose to make. Now, I've already talked about the importance of DEI before, so I'm not going to sit here and do that. What I actually want to do is talk about one of my favorite concepts and ideals taught by Plato. But in order to understand it, you also need to understand Aristotle's Art of Rhetoric. So I'm going to give you a couple of book recommendations, but the particular topic and idea and principle I want to talk about is sophism. Sophism is basically, in the most simplistic sense you can think of, the evil twin to rhetoric. Plato hated sophism and Plato hated sophist. And on my page, I talk about how we need to combat anti-intellectualism because it is rapidly on the rise, and we need to do everything we can as a collective to go against that and to brace intellectualism. Secondly, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it is because a lot of us see sophism, we just don't know how to identify it. So learning to identify these particular sorts of things are important, especially when sophism is actually harmful. Two really big examples of sophism or sophist, Dean Withers and Jubilee videos. And finally, the 4chan, red pillar, incel, right-wing crowd, they actually engage with and create videos that are all about embracing and perpetuating sophism, and maybe you do too without knowing it. Here's going to be a line that's going to tell you that what you're learning about is sophism. How to win every argument you're in. You are engaging in sophism. In order to understand sophism, you have to understand rhetoric. Rhetoric is basically the art of persuasion. It is the art of using language to persuade, inform, or motivate your audience. Aristotle discusses rhetoric in his book, The Art of Rhetoric, and I think if you're getting into philosophy, this is an essential read, but also if you're trying to combat anti-intellectualism, it is also an essential read for you as well. Now, when rhetoric becomes perverted, it becomes what Plato talks about in Gorgias, which is sophism, and that's exactly what I want to talk to you about now. Additionally, another book that Plato talks about rhetoric in, the true form of rhetoric, and then the more perverted version of it that becomes sophism, is in his book Phaedrus as well. So in my opinion, I think the holy trinity to understanding rhetoric and its counterpart sophism is going to be The Art of Rhetoric by Aristotle, and then by Plato, it's going to be Gorgias and his book Phaedrus. I don't have it because I borrowed it out, but those are the three that I would recommend you get and read. So let's go ahead and define and understand what sophism is and why it's harmful. Why did Plato hate it? Why is it dangerous? Why is it anti-intellectual? Like I said earlier, sophism is basically rhetoric's evil twin. It's the perversion of rhetoric. Rhetoric is the art of persuasion. Now take that to pervert it. It's speech that's trying to persuade people in a very deceptive and fallacious way. Sophists and sophism uses plausible sounding because it sounds good, it sounds persuasive, but logic lacking argumentation that is deceptive and engages in fallacies in order to try to convince people or persuade them to believe in a corrupted idea. They will twist and misrepresent definitions. They don't engage in sound or valid logical reasoning. And their goal is to win. Their goal is to win a debate. Their goal is to win an argument. These individuals have corrupted the art and what it means to actually be engaged in proper debate and engaged in proper rhetoric, which is why they engage with and create the content of the videos of how to never lose an argument. Your goal in life should not be to win every argument or debate you're in. First and foremost, y'all need to stop arguing all the damn time. It's raising your blood pressure. Secondly, debate is a craft and it's a skill that a lot of people train for in order to become really good at because it is an art and it's supposed to be utilized like rhetoric in order to advance society on a social, political, and economic level. Sophists will skillfully use the art of persuasion to try to convince you of something that is not true. And Plato hated them for so many reasons because he saw when the teachers of philosophy and the teachers of rhetoric were doing so, they were manipulating it and they were weaponizing it in order to try to prioritize victory and winning argumentation over actually trying to gain wisdom and truth. It is a form of intellectual deception. And when we're talking about anti-intellectualism, sophism is the basis of that. He saw it as just manipulation and flattery that had no truth involved in it because oftentimes it doesn't. Now, he didn't hate rhetoric. He just hated the perversion of rhetoric because he did believe that rhetoric, when utilized for good, can actually help people's souls find truth and can help societies achieve a level of justice on a political, economic, and social level. So why does this matter? Okay, when I'm talking about anti-intellectualism, first and foremost, the fact that Texas A&M is barring professors from teaching Plato in the world of philosophy, I don't even think you've ever had to take a philosophy course to understand how impactful Plato is. He is considered to be one of the greatest intellectual minds within the world of philosophy. Now, that in and of itself is already just an anti-intellectual policy. But what are they doing pertaining to sophism? These politicians are going on stage and they're utilizing anti-intellectualism and weaponizing it in order to get their followers and the people who vote for them to believe particular things that are not true. How are they able to do that? By engaging in sophism. They're able to use the art of persuasion in a perverse way, in a way that attacks academics, in a way that attacks scholars, and in a way that engages and perpetuates anti-intellectualism. They create a distrust in academic institutions and scholarships by saying things like, sending your kids to college is going to make them a radical liberal, which is one of the biggest fears of conservatives and MAGAs apparently, and they're able to play off of that. They're able to use their persuasive speech to truly convince people that your kids are going to somehow come out of college as radical liberals, while they are all still currently sending their children to college or have college degrees themselves. But it's not just something that we see on the right. As I mentioned, Dean Withers is the epitome of sophism. He's the epitome of being a sophist. I know it's entertaining. I know you guys love seeing Trump supporters get dunked on and these arguments, and none of these things are productive. They're not engaging in genuine rhetoric, Dean Withers isn't, but also these individuals are not engaging in proper debate. Again, debate is an actual art form, and there are ways to go about it. There are ways to conduct it. There are ways to do it in order for it to be effective and for it to actually be purposeful and useful. It's not, though. It's simply sophism, and it gets people's emotions riled up, which is the entire point. You can persuade people if you're able to play off of their feelings and emotions, which is why there are fallacies within the world of argumentation and rhetoric dedicated to trying to play off of people's emotions, even when there's no legitimate reasoning, logic, or evidence behind what you're saying. It's one of the reasons why rage baiting works so much on people, because you're getting people angry. You're getting people scared. You're getting people upset. You're getting people hopeful. There are different ways that you can utilize rhetoric and the art of speaking in order to either help or hinder society. People like Dean Withers and the entire group of MAGA and all the politicians that work for them both do that. They play off of emotions and they're able to engage in anti-intellectual, sophist talking points because it's getting your emotions riled up. It's getting you angry, it's getting you scared, and no one is making anyone here hopeful. Most people didn't even vote for Ronald Reagan because of his policies. They voted for him because he gave them hope. He offered them a feeling of hope. When he spoke, he was persuasive, and he was able to play off of people's feelings of wanting something better, of wanting something greater, even if his policies didn't necessarily reflect it. The goal should never be to win every argument. The goal should be to seek truth, and sometimes that will make you uncomfortable. Because sometimes it's going to force you to look in the mirror at things and beliefs you've held. Some of them are very deeply rooted. Maybe they're theological, maybe they're philosophical, maybe they're political. Sometimes it's going to force you to analyze yourself and see where your flaws are, or maybe see that you fell susceptible to propaganda yourself. It's going to make you uncomfortable when you seek truth, because you're going to learn things about yourself and the world that maybe you didn't want to know. Ignorance is bliss, and sometimes it's more comfortable living in the unknown. But if we're going to embrace intellectualism, if we're going to be better, if we need to be able to see and call out sophism when it's at hand, we need to understand sophism when it's at hand. And we need to know how to utilize rhetoric ourselves for good social, political, and economic change. We need to know how to practice it. We need to know how to recognize it. Anyways, I love to be a part of this journey with everybody. I love learning from people who are encouraging and advancing intellectualism, especially in areas that I have absolutely no knowledge in. I love it. I love learning about it. I hope that I could be there alongside to help some of you learn about it, and maybe it's going to make both of us uncomfortable, but I think it's necessary for the time being.
I was talking to my sister. I think something was on TV. I don't even remember how we got on the topic, but she mentioned something called pigging. And I was like, huh? She was like, you don't know what that is? She proceeds to tell me, imagine you're a bigger girl, minding your business, usually at a bar. A man comes up to you, starts flirting with you, usually a more conventionally attractive man. He manages to get you to come back home with him. You start having relations with this man. And when you least expect it, a gaggle of other men burst through the door. You throw the covers up and shriek because you're indecent in an intimate act. You don't know what's finna happen. Is this a burglary? Are you about to get gang R-worded? The men proceed to surround the bed. And along with the man you were laying with, they begin oinking at you profusely, laugh their asses off, and then leave. It would take me at least 45 seconds of shock of trying to collect my equilibrium to come to the conclusion that, oh, I'm big. They're oinking because I'm big. The joke is we got the hunky one to get the big bitch in bed, right? And we all make a fool out of the pig in the blanket, right? Y'all ever see American Dad? That episode where Roger takes that photo of those guys and picks them off one by one because they owe him $20? That's exactly how I would do it. Whole room would have nothing short of about 15 days to live. I know some crazy men. You know how sadistic you have to be to find something like that funny? How do you even go about finding men who find something like that funny? How do you drop an idea like that on a friend group and not end up on a registry? Not end up shunned? Is it 4chan chat rooms? Is that how y'all find each other? It has to be. A man could not walk up to me and be like, oh my God, you wanna do something funny? And I'm like, oh my God, what? And he proceeds to say something like that. So how are y'all not only finding each other, but executing this idea enough that it has a name? Death to men, actually. Yeah, mind you, afterwards, you get thrown out of his house. He made the big girl come back to his place. I wouldn't even get dressed, I don't think, for days. Not only would I walk home, no clothes, I would just walk around my place and plot to hunt all of them down. Just like Roger, I would take a group photo, because all them sadistic white boys always have a group photo. Yes, they're white. My big ass will be the last thing any of them would see. Literally, because I ain't gonna have no clothes on.
Putting on my wig right now, but I just had a thought. The way that y'all react to Chris Brown's documented abuse of multiple people is the reason that P. Diddy got away with all the shit that he did. R. Kelly, too. Like, whenever y'all hear news about somebody that you, like, really fuck with being an abusive, awful, nasty dirtbag, y'all don't be giving a fuck. Like, at all. And that's how, like, abusers and awful fucking people who are in power stay in power and never have to face the consequences of their actions until it's too late. Like, in the documentary, in the documentary that just came out about Diddy, all the people that were in the documentary, they did it for free. They talked about all of the egregious shit that P. Diddy did for free. And, I mean, sure, great. But, like, you were there while he was doing all that shit? And you just now say, like, yeah, it's a lot. Continuing to support, uplift, and even defend these types of niggas is aiding and abetting their behavior, directly or indirectly. And I honestly just wish more people would just say, I don't give a fuck about men being abusive pieces of shit. A man abusing a woman is not where the line is drawn for me. It's just not. I don't care. And I will continue to play the music. Just say that. Just be a man about it. Hey, and before y'all get in my comments talking about some, oh, Rihanna forgave him, I don't give a goddamn stupid, dumbass bitch who don't read. Rihanna is not the only person he abused. She was the first person he abused. That nigga's rap sheet is longer than a CVS receipt. He punched Karrueche in the stomach and pushed her down a flight of stairs and threatened to kill her and her friend. He was literally stalking her. Niggas were taking that picture of him stalking her and making memes about it. Okay? Nigga threw a brick at his mama's car window. That nigga's a fucking pit bull. A crack-headed pit bull. For real.
Khadija, there's a big old head of broccoli at the door.
Today is my lucky day.
Doctor discovered a cure for ugly.
No, baby, you just gonna have to wait. Well, if it isn't the Grinch who stole breakfast.
Hey, Kyle, I got some mistletoe in my back pocket. Why don't you kiss my ass?
Can we call a truce?
No.
Okay, fine. I tried to take the high road, you bearded billy goat.
Damn, these paper boys are getting older and uglier.
And she loves my sense of humor. I'm always making her laugh.
Maybe you should keep your clothes on. You deserve better than her. She's not worth it. Good Lord, he's ugly when he cries. Hey.
Some people at my office laid out for weeks with this flu, baby.
Mm-hmm. He's right. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I'll go sit a little closer, Khadija.
Most inflexible jerk I have ever known.
Oh, I'm inflexible? Miss exactly 14 minutes of foreplay.
Don't go there. Don't go below the belt. You were never very good there.
Kyle's allergic to anything with fur. Yeah, like Max's upper lip. Besides, I didn't want any mangy, flea-bitten animal running around the apartment.
Too much competition? He's right. There are worse things. Like this tale from the crypt. You got to get up pretty early in the morning to get one over on me.
Yes, because evil never sleeps.
But ugly gets plenty of rest.
Look, let me go. I got 2 words for you. Don't sleep, all right?
And I got 2 words for you. Check out Loser Van Dross.
I embrace a song like I embrace a woman.
So that's what? Once a year?
But it's a tune you will never forget. Now, allow me to show you the way out. I am nothing without my first cup of coffee.
Man, well, you're nothing with it. Right axe, wrong head.
I told you, man, she's only afraid of garlic, holy water, and direct sunlight.
What's wrong with you? I mean, besides your genetic stuff.
Lassie, go home. I don't know, Regine. Look, I usually work better alone.
Oh, well, we're not talking about your sex life.
Oh, Max, it's so good to see you.
Take me through that. Oh my God.
Hey, drunkie. Hey, champ. How you feeling?
I feel like literal shit right now.
Yeah, you look like shit, for sure.
You know, it's too early for the banter, babe.
Yeah, it's not, though. It's actually 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah.
What's up? What's up? Why'd you call? What's up?
Nothing. It's just it's Sunday. It's a really nice day out. Like, we need to get up. I don't know. We need to make something shake, y'all. Like, let's do something. I don't know.
I can already tell you on one, and I've been in the car for 2 seconds. On one.
What? Y'all both laying down. Make some noise, y'all. What the fuck? Get up. Cameron, you're at a 10 right now. I'm gonna need you at a 3, respectfully. Okay? My head already hurts. We don't need to make it no worse.
Like, my ears are literally ringing right now.
Y'all are so dramatic. Please. It's not even, y'all acting like we was out till 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, last night was not that crazy. Relax. Please, okay? You wore a jean vest, okay? You had half a shot, and all of a sudden you was just tipsy for the rest of the night, okay? Let the girls that actually drink recover in peace. Please.
We was tossing it back, and you had water.
That sounded like alcoholism to me, but hey. Huh? Nothing. Okay. Please don't piss me off when it's Good Sunday. Please don't. You know what y'all need, though? What? Electrolytes? Water? Silence? It sounds like y'all need me to sing for y'all. Like, maybe if I sing, I'll get y'all's energy. We don't, though. Okay? So we don't, though. Please don't. Spare us. So can you come pick up your clothes? I had them folded. Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. We hear you loud and clear. We're good. We're awake. What the hell did I just walk into? Some bullshit, okay? And actually, where did you just walk into? Because that's not your closet. Yeah, where were you at last night? Who were you with? Probably at that dude's house that he was kikiing with last night. Well, yes. Oh, wait, fine shit. Wait, okay, so what ended up happening? All right, so boom, we get to the crib drunk as hell, right? Don't even make it to the bedroom. We go straight to the living room, right? Right. We in there, 1 foot on the table, 1 hand on frontal. Okay. Tell me why halfway through the session, his roommate walks in. For real? Oh? Okay, mind you, the gag is his roommate was his ex. Oh, you're lying. Wait, so what did the roommate end up doing? Nah, shit, he literally walked in like it was nothing. Was he fine shit at least? And what was he gonna do with that information? Hey, I don't know. He could have made some shake with the both of them. No shit. Nah. Okay. Because what's better than 1 gift? 2. Hello. Thank you.